I'm so excited. I'm running towards Wolfpack Wednesday. What's up, everybody? Too sweet to all of you guys on the panel and to everybody out there, too. I'm excited. It feels like forever since we've streamed, but it's been a week, and we're here each and every week. This is episode 59. We got Brick Artemis back in the house tonight, along with my boys, EvilSneaker and DLO The Wise. It's good to be back. We've got a lot to talk about. We got some figure drops, some figure releases. We've got some figures possibly shipping from Sideshow. Everybody be ready for what do we want to call that? Like I wouldn't want to say like Hot Toys Apocalypse, but like Sneaker. You were talking about all of the figures that are probably going to be shipping very soon. What emotions or what tagline comes to your mind when you think about all of that hitting at once? What's a good title we could name that feeling?
The Big Sad.
The Big Sad.
Like Padme and Anakin.
The
Big
Hate
Sad.
Sand.
Yep. It's called The Big Sad, man. You know? Padme dying, you know, the Big Sad. Yep.
No, I get it. Okay.
Losing all this money. There you go.
To clarify, only our wallets are sad. We're happiness collectors, though. So maybe something more like Black Monday or something like that.
It's funny, too,
because happiness in mourning.
We were talking about all of the figures that, like,
Sneaker just
mostly
crying.
Sneaker has coming, but I'm talking to you guys, and I'm like, man, I only have the Mars toys, like Willy Wonka, that I'm, like, waiting for. Everything else is kind of just far out for me, more towards summer and fall, so...
Lucky.
But then I'm not as disciplined as I need to be, so you know, there's that. But I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you guys for being here again tonight. We got 42 to start the show, so obviously you guys are ready to hang out. Hit that like button on the way in. Say hi in the chat so we can say hi back to you. Dilo, really quickly, how's your week? Any new pickups? What's going on with you?
Yeah, dude. Well, first off, Brickmeister, welcome back. Happy to see you. You were missed, so shout out to the Brickster.
Missed you guys.
Anyway.
Always coming at both sides.
Whoa, careful. Grandma's double dipping. Okay.
Double dipping.
Oh, college years. Anyways. Yeah. Excited about the show tonight. Wolfpack Wednesdays, the best show on Wednesdays, as we always like to say over here. Funny we were talking about being stronger. I was doing so good. Had a couple things in the backlog, doing smooth, and then you get that itch as a collector, man, and you start looking and browsing and saying to yourself, well, that's a good deal and all that stuff. And sure enough, I went a little crazy last week, bought one too many things, and then out of nowhere, bam, I get hit with everything. Black Adam is shipping. This is coming soon. I'm seeing people on Facebook saying that their invoices for Mace and Spider-Man. So it is a wild time for us here. So happy, sad, Black Monday, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be interesting. So I'm excited to talk about that and everything else we have on the show tonight. So you know what I'm going to say, baby. Let's fucking go.
Let's go. Yeah, you know, as a collector too, it's really hard to practice abstinence, you know, like from collecting. You know, like you're waiting for all of these like these notifications that Sideshow's going to be shipping your stuff, and it's kind of like as the weeks pass, you need something to kind of like hold you over, and you know, you'll dabble here and you'll dabble there, and you know, you get a figure that was unexpected, and then you're like, and then all of a sudden, stuff happens where this hits, and you're like, ooh, crap, I'm not prepared. Like, I feel like that for me, like. I can go like a month without buying anything, but then like you said, we'll talk about it in our chat and like, man, I got to buy something. What is there out there? We'll just scroll like eBay and kind of like get your fix and whatnot. So it's interesting. I mean, definitely a hobby, but sometimes I wonder if it could be a little addictive.
It's crazy because it seems like every time I finally just give into that temptation, that's when I get hit with an email. Yeah. Like it's like I was coasting for maybe a good month, maybe a month and change. Cruise control. Yeah, something's going to drop soon. I'll be fine. And then when it didn't, and then it didn't again, I was weak. But I got an awesome figure today, which is it just came into the mail. So shout out to Pop Culture and your 20% off, Dealy. I got that bad boy over there.
So cool, man. I like the saturated colors as opposed to the throne one, but
Yeah,
that one comes with a head sculpt, right?
It does not. It's the only one that doesn't actually. Well, I lied. The
Throne
the
doesn't.
repainted one doesn't. Just the one with the throne comes with the head sculpt. But yeah, it doesn't. But that's okay. I mean, I kind of want that Boba Fett to be helmeted anyway because it's a complete redesign. I know it doesn't look like much from photos, but comparing them in hand together, that's a really nice piece. I'm glad to have it.
Very happy for you, sir. Good to have you back. Sneaker, we got you in the house here too. Any new pickups? What's going on with you? How's your week?
It's good. I did buy one figure, and then the next day I got an email saying that C-3PO and Red and Blue Suit Spider-Man are shipping next week. So that's how it goes.
It's hard for me to understand C-3PO shipping just now because I've had that since February. Like it seems like an eternity ago.
Yeah, hopefully, like, well, I guess
awesome.
I don't know if we're gonna talk about it like more in depth tonight, but hopefully that time is like gonna stop for the time. Like hopefully that doesn't become the norm. You know what I mean? Because it seems like now these other figures, like I've heard Mace is gonna ship soon as well. Some people are already getting him, right? So, like you guys had already mentioned, but I picked up a Buzz Lightyear Deluxe at a almost too good to be true price. Not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous, but he's here. I haven't opened him yet, but it's legit. It's 100% legit. Haven't opened it yet. It's legit. I'm sure. If you see me pop off,
I haven't opened it, but it's legit. Trust me, bro.
It's
boxes.
Like,
Have you opened the shipper?
It's reputable seller.
All good
there's
vibes,
no
man.
shipper. No shipper. Okay, it came from overseas.
So you've seen the actual art box though?
Yes, the box is good. Yeah, it's a legitimate box and sealed
Dude,
up.
you're gonna
and it's in
love
the
that
plastic.
figure.
Yeah. I'm excited. I waited. I'm glad I didn't buy it at retail.
Yeah.
For what I paid for it now. I'm glad I waited, but that was the first movie actually that I watched with my oldest son. So, who's now 4.5. So kind of like a special figure just to have that. I was waiting to hopefully get a deal on at some point. I don't really see myself getting it for any cheaper than what I paid at this point. So had to pull the trigger. And then, yeah, next week, like I said, 3PO is finally going to be shipped. And then, Red and Blue Suit Spider-Man, which is crazy. We talk about like 3PO not shipping since February, and now Red and Blue Suit, which just came out like, when was that? Was that already a month? Was that a month ago already?
It's gotta be about a month ago.
It's gotta be maybe a month or a little bit longer or whatever.
That one. I wouldn't
But
mind
like
having
that one now shipping like next week, like from Underground.
That's why it doesn't
so
make sense.
It doesn't make sense. He's getting it from Sideshow, so Underground's shipping both of those out to me. Been waiting 3PO forever, and then Red and Blue Suit is shipping at the same time as 3PO. So it's just really bizarre. But excited to get both of those in, and then apparently Mace is going to be shipping really soon as well.
Weird.
Is the word on the street from Underground. So yeah,
Awesome. Very cool. Very busy for you. Happy for you.
Yeah.
Really quickly too, in the chat, I want to do a wellness check on any Catwoman pre-orders. I just want to make sure everybody out there has gotten their Catwoman. So please, if you need to talk to somebody, let us know in the chat. You know, we can support you and be there for you if you don't have your Catwoman yet or anything like that. So.
She's in stock shipping on Sideshow now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
She's
I know
like
last
ship
week, I
ready,
think it was
like-
last week, people still didn't have it. So
Yeah, I think she's like
Just
ready to
throwing it
ship
out there.
now, like ready to go for anybody who wants to
okay,
buy it.
good.
I've seen that happen before. It sucks when it does, but I've seen it.
Interesting.
Yeah. And last but not least, we have Brick Artemis back in the house. What's going on, my friend? What? I know you got a pickup, so let's hear about that pickup and just how your week's going so far.
Yeah, man. I got the Mark III Iron Man 2.0, which I have been wanting to get for quite some time now, and finally got it from Hawk Wars Toys. Thank you to Ray. Such a good figure. I haven't really played with him too much, but I do have him on the shelf. I gotta get to that, but he's, man, I love opening up diecast figures.
I see him back there too,
man. Yeah. Whoop. Whoa. That's always weird to do, right? But yeah, other than that, just a good solid week. I've got vacation next week, so again, I won't be on the show, unfortunately. But vacation next week, and then the week after, I got like half a week vacation with you guys. So I'm just totally stoked for that.
That's crazy.
Just super excited to meet DLO in person for the first
It's
time.
2 weeks, basically, right? 2 weeks from today.
That's right, baby.
We're going to be meeting DLO. So, guys, we're going to be vlogging. We're going to be sharing that experience with you. But at the same time, I think we're also just going to be hanging out and, enjoying those moments because they are so few and far in between in person. So we'll try and share some of that with you guys though, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah.
And then I have the red and blue suit coming as well, from Sideshow. Should be here in a few days, and then I'm waiting on that black suit, Peter Parker advanced suit, from the video game, and yeah, hopefully Anakin ships out soon too. So
Nice.
We'll see.
Really quickly before I get into the chat, as for me, I got my Jackson Batman Begins head sculpt in today, so I'm filming a video on that, so that'll probably drop tomorrow or the next day. We'll see. And then, so I think it looks really good. I took some pictures, shared it on IG. Really impressed with it, especially for the price. And then we talked about having lapses and whatnot in collecting, and I threw an offer, a dirt cheap offer for Endgame Loki, and so low that I just didn't even think the dude would accept it. And I was even just gonna, it sat for a day. I was gonna cancel it, and then I forgot, and then I think he waited until he didn't have any better offers, and he just got out. So hopefully that comes and that arrives okay. I'm still debating. I love my TVA Loki, man, but I might put that head sculpt on the Endgame and use it for that. So I don't know. What would you guys do? Display 2? Put the head sculpt on TVA? Or turn around and sell that bitch? The Endgame one that I just got.
I would put the head sculpt. I'd switch the head sculpts out.
Sneaker?
I'd sell Endgame. I'd keep TVA and wait to pose it next to Artisan Loki.
Well, I don't know if I'm keeping that one either. So
Well, or if you get sculpted, like if you were to get sculpted,
Yeah.
I think like having those two, like honestly, I'm thinking about potentially picking up TVA down the line to put those two like potentially
Such a
next
good
to each other. I
figure.
think that's
It's
such a good figure, and to connect those two together like from the show, I feel like is really cool.
that's why I feel like I put myself in a conundrum, because I was fine. Like, I love the head sculpt, I love the TVA look, but at the same time, I've seen DLO's figure, I've seen some other ones on the web, and I'm just like, man, that looks pretty sick. So now I'm in
It's
a
quite
conundrum because I
beautiful.
got to figure out what to do. How about I
You
put?
Dude, just do it, dude. I promise you,
Switch
you
it.
will switch it, dude. It is such like a game changer. Because that head sculpt, I mean, the one that came with it, everybody was disappointed. That's well documented. But
Yep.
when whoever the first person was to put that head sculpt on that Endgame body for Loki, thank you, whoever you are. Because that just made that figure a 10 once you threw that on there.
Oh, did it? You have the smiling one, and I'm going with the stoic
Yeah.
one. But I think they both look amazing. So
They do. They both do. I got mine from the President Loki one, so I wanted that more like Tom Hiddleston, like smirky smile thing there. So
okay. So let me pick your brain for a quick second here.
sure.
So what did you do with your President Loki? Is he just the rest of him sitting in the box and just store it away? Did you part it out and sell it? What'd you do?
Yeah, great question. You'd probably have to ask the owner of Toy Anxiety about that question because I only bought the head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought you had
Yeah,
the- okay,
yeah.
well.
I'm sure
So it's not,
he'd
it really
okay.
wasn't a great question then.
No, that's okay. I entertained it though, but you know,
Okay.
loose
well,
baby.
We'll see. Hopefully I get that pretty soon. It looks like it was shipping out either today or tomorrow. So yeah, excited for that. Let's, before we get started, I'm just going to really quickly go through the chat, say hi to you guys, and maybe we'll take some breaks in between if you guys have any questions or whatnot. We got Jim the Collector. Let's go. We'll be catching this on the replay, but have a great stream. We got channel member Adric. Hello there. Thank you for being here. Primetime Reviews. What's up, Brandon? He's my guy. Too sweet to you. Thank you for being a channel member. Doc Bat. Always good to see him here, too. Love the classic Batman picture he's got there. Brad, my neighbor to the north. Hey, Wolfpack. We got Nick's Collectibles. Always good to see Nick here as well.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, Too Sweet 2D!
You know I gotta do that cheap plug every time I can. So that's on Nick Collectibles' channel. He does the awesome wrestling stuff. So go check that out. We got Born Again. What's up, Wolfpack? Figures are evolving in your collection. What figure, because of the head sculpt or accessories, stock or third party, brings the figure to life? Thanks for the show. Interesting that we were just talking about that. And then he has that question. I'm gonna go first just because mine probably happened today. What figures are evolving in your collection? What figure, because of the head sculpt or accessories? So it's going to be my Batman Begins. Like, I feel bad because in my video I did the voiceover this evening, and I pretty much said that the Hot Toys offering that they gave us for Batman Begins is a complete joke and it's an embarrassment. And it really is. I mean, if we're being honest, and we put the two together, which you will see, the fact that they didn't update it from almost 8-10 years from the prior one, whatever that was, is really sad. And the fact that it's a Batman figure, you'd think that they would try harder. So I got the Jackson cape, and the cowl came in today, and it totally transforms this figure. I feel bad now having it on the bottom DF. It's with the tumbler, but like I feel bad having it down that low now. But runner up would be the Doc Brown. Super disappointed with that head sculpt, but the 1/6 kit head that I bought a few months back, it really helps that figure out as well. So it's kind of sad that we have to do that sometimes with these third-party companies or third-party creators, but at the same time, it's awesome that we have that option and that avenue. So those would be my two. Anybody got something that pops in your head that you want to quickly go over while I take a sip?
You guys still thinking?
No, I got my answer. Just go for it.
I'd say Chrome Mando. You get kind of like that Grogu satchel, or like the bag that he sits in. You have the spear, you have the dark saber. You can display him in like action pose, obviously, with pretty much however you want to do it. Whistling birds, flamethrower. It comes with all the accessories if you want to pose him up on a swoop bike. So I feel like that figure in particular is like, I've seen so many creative ways and different ways to pose him based on the accessories, and he just comes with so much stuff. That's the first one that pops in my head. Runner up, I'd say the Batman though is probably pretty close. The Batman Pattinson with just the, if you get the bat signal and the multiple, or if you get the deluxe with the multiple display options, and just the head sculpt and having the cowl, all the goodies with the Batman as well. Those are the two that came to my mind.
Maybe did I read this wrong? Does he mean stock or third party, like a third party figure, or third party parts that we brought to kind of make?
I think he means both. Like, parts, accessories.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think we're all good.
Party,
yeah.
Okay. I just found out too. Like, I'm the only one that wore my short tonight. Come on. What's up with that?
Fine. I'll go next here. I'm just kind of piggybacking off of what Steve already said there. The Patterson Unreal Custom Collar and Neck accessory. That is a major game changer for that figure. And it's such a subtle thing at first when you just think of just having a slightly longer neck and a wider collar, what can do for a figure. That figure has been my Frankenstein project for a couple of months now. I just can't put it down. I love the figure, but I'm a perfectionist because I'm a Batman fan. And I'll tell you, that accessory just elevates that figure so much. And for the price of what it is, it's a worthwhile investment for sure. I love that figure now. Runner for me, number 2 is I go all in as well too. I go even with custom head sculpts as well sometimes. I just got one in the mail actually today, ironically, since we're talking about this. I got my
Do you have it handy
custom.
Or?
No, it's in the it's already in the case and all that stuff there. But I have my custom head sculpt from Zal the Modder or something like that there. But I got the Nightmare Batman head sculpt, and I've sort of started upgrading all of my Ben Affleck head sculpts over time with him. The tactical suit, man, talk about a night and day difference. That figure was blah at best. Throwing that on there and fixing it up, this elevates. Every one of those are elevated from it there. So if you're not into waiting for 2.0s like I am, and I just want to get my fix now and fix my figure up, that's not a bad way to go. So,
well, it's weird too because I have a few of the Ben Affleck Batmans too. Now, I think those head sculpts are really good, but when I see yours, I'm just like, holy shit! Like, damn it! Like, I was in a good place, like I liked it, and then I see yours, and it's just like, shoot!
It's next level, man. It really, really is. I mean, it's hard to believe now at this point that those figures, that those movies are so old as they are now. I mean, we're over, almost 7+ years into some of these movies that these are based off of here. So, technology-wise, on the customizers, like, they've gotten so much better that honestly, some of these folks who are doing it on the side arguably can be doing it better than some of the companies that we buy from regularly here. Now, granted, it's more one-off pieces, so obviously more time is taken into those, and we're talking about mass-produced figures, and obviously that's a little bit more of a challenge, which I understand that. But gosh, I'll tell you, I mean, sometimes just tweaking a little accessory like Born Again is bringing in this conversation here goes a long way in extending the longevity of a figure for somebody.
True. That's true. I mean, you're going to pay for it, but at the same time, how much further down the road is that going to get you to, enjoy that figure and love that figure? And and not worry about a 2.0 or reissue. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. And Brick, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go just a little different. I might be tweaking the question just
Tweaking.
a little bit, but the Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and I know the head sculpt isn't all there and everything, but I'm gonna count the base as an accessory.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you look at this base, it's ginormous. It feels like real sand. I actually think it might be some real sand on there because you'll see it fall off, but it's an amazing base, and that head sculpt alone, just on that base, looks so realistic. Looks like you're picking up somebody's head. I mean, it's so detailed. So, I guess not really Toby, but the base, Sandman base, a little different.
watched,
Runner up would probably be like Scarlet Witch or something from
Okay.
from Multiverse Madness.
No, that base is massive. I've seen it
Yeah.
in person, and I've seen reviews where, yeah, they say like it is like sand that they like
It's crazy.
glued on, and then yeah, it'll kind of like shed, over
Yep.
time and whatnot. So it's pretty cool accessory / base. Awesome question too from Born Again. Thank you each and every week for kind of like letting us break the ice here. We got Christian Cooper in the house. What's up, guys? I've been watching all the Snyderverse movies. Man, it's weird how things are connecting tonight. It's
The
weird.
circle, baby.
Snyderverse movies, and now want more Justice League figures. That's a dangerous game to play, Christian, because I do that with movies that I watch too. Like I watched No Way Home recently, and then I was seriously considering filling out that line. Luckily for me, it kind of wore off when I had the chance to buy the T1000, and then I kind of like put that to bed. But yeah, like I'll watch Justice League and be like, man, I could really use an Aquaman and a Flash, and it's a scary thing. Is there something that you guys on the panel, like, you worry about that happening? Like, maybe what don't you collect that you worry, like, if you watch this movie, or, DLO, you're a little bit more established. So, like, is there something that you watch that you're like, you might go, I want to go all in now? Or, like, for you guys, is there something you don't collect that you're like, man, if I watch this movie, that's really going to be tough, like Predator, Terminator, or, maybe there's a Marvel movie or something. Like, is there anything that pops in your head, like, not that you stay away from, but you're just like, I gotta watch it, because if I watch that, I'm going to want to do that. So is there anything that pops in your head?
Yeah, for me, it's anything DC, because I don't have a lot of DC figures, and I'm waiting for the '89 Batman, but I still need more DC figures. Like, I'm even considering that modern suit Batman from The Flash, and there's just I need an Affleck Batman. There's all of that. So every time I watch any of those movies, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the Snyder movies, which is pretty well known, but I still enjoy them, and I like a lot of those figures. But I'm really just trying to hold out a couple years. I know it's going to be forever for this James Gunn stuff, or for the Affleck 2.0s that we're getting. So yeah, it's tough.
Well, even for me, getting this figure, like, to be proud to show this off again, I was like, man,
Dark Knight's another one.
I should go back and get the Bank Robber Joker 2.0.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, don't do this, because as soon as you do this, that's going to be the next one that's reissued. So again, trying to stay strong, but I, even just rekindling the love for the line kind of makes you like, ooh, now I want to, maybe I should get the Catwoman. Maybe I should get the Bank Robber Joker. So anyways, DLO, Sneaker, how about you guys?
Go ahead, DLO.
Yeah, man. Lord of the Rings has been hurting my wallet there. That's what you get. That's what you get, bro. Yeah, I mean, with the excitement over Gandalf, and obviously the new one that just dropped recently over there with Aragorn. I mean, the other day we were talking about, I think last episode we brought it up as well too, and I said, one would probably be ideal, right, just for space and representation. But man, I'll tell you, when you go back in that rabbit hole and you just kind of remind yourself how awesome some films are, it's hard to turn them down. It really is. But in the fairness, sometimes it's a good thing too, because I actually had the exact opposite effect on something else I was watching. I finally decided to give my son a little education on Harry Potter. We finally started watching those movies. He never got into them, but he's really starting to like them now. I'm like, the whole inner thing with with the gang going up, J&D's doing stuff with it right now. So I was worried. Started watching that, I was going to feel the same way like I did for Lord of the Rings. Thankfully for me, it had the exact opposite effect. For me, it was just like, love the movies, but I'm good. Like, I don't need those. Those I'm good. Like, not everything needs to be represented.
True.
If you get excited about it. But
Lord of the Rings is like the best trilogy. I mean, not the best, like one of the best. Like it's up there with being like one of the best trilogies of all time, and just the musical score. So as soon as the movie starts, like, well, once Gandalf comes in to into town and everything, and Frodo meets with him, you got the Hobbit music playing and all of that. It's like, wow, this is like fantasy at its best. Like it's amazing. So I know if I watch those movies too, I'm with you, DLO. I'm gonna want those figures, man.
It's tough though, because you think you know a movie and then you kind of sit on it for a while and let it marinate, and then you come back to it and you pick up on little details and you get another like appreciation for it again. You're like, oh, like I need more. But like I'm trying very hard to stay strong because those movies are over 20 years old and you just forget how damn good, and they hold up quite well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
way better
back
than
when CGI wasn't like overly used. Like it was like you hinted at it and you didn't, notice it all the time. Like where they kind of hit you over the head with it nowadays. So like that generation kind of like aged a little bit better than some that went over the top with like CGI.
Right, because it was a mix. It was a mix of they had practical effects and they had some CGI. Now CGI, in all fairness, it's not as good as I remember it there.
Sure,
but the prosthetics and everything that they use for practicality reason, oh my god, the orcs, forget about it. I was like, oh man, those things look gross. I mean, they look amazing. So that's kind of what I want though, honestly. Like I want somebody to make one of those. That would be cool.
Sure.
So yeah.
Cool. How about you, Sneaker?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings for me, which I'm already regretting currently, but
like not getting into it. You're regretting?
Yeah, kind of right now, because I want an Aragorn. So anybody got a rooted Aragorn out there with kid who wants to transfer their pre-order with me, hit me up. The one that really comes to mind is Predator, though. That's one that I will continue to resist.
It's a rabbit hole.
And I haven't seen the movies in a while, and I probably am not going to watch them again anytime soon either, just because, I don't want to go. I would love to like go back also and just watch like, because I know like the new Alien stuff is coming out too. I want to like go watch like the Alien stuff and the Predator stuff at some point. I just don't have the time to do it right now, but I'd love to like go back and watch it because it's been a long time like since I've watched those movies, but I fear for my safety.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So that's one that like right when you said the first thing you said was Predator, but that was the first one that came to my mind too. Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys, bear with us. I want to say hi to everybody, but I do like this breakup of a little bit of conversation in the middle. So like it's almost like a segment of saying hi to everybody first. So you guys are important to us because you watch our show. So we want to make sure we acknowledge each and every one of you. We got Tristan in the house. He says hashtag make Aemond Targaryen. God, why was that such a tongue twister? I don't know. Universal Key, hello. We got Flavio's House of Collectibles. Thank you for being here. Stacy says good evening, fellow collectors. Happy Wednesday. Titer FL, our fellow Floridian, is in the house, and we have Action in the Box, another channel member. Hello, friends. I missed you. We missed you too. I hope you're doing well. Hope you were able to secure tickets to that Packer game, week 1 of the NFL season. It's coming up. I know Brick and I are going to try to get to training camp when July hits, so looking forward to that too. We got West Michigan Collector. We got Luke Christian coming at us from the future. We got another channel member, Jazzy. What is up? Dude, if you guys haven't, go find Jazzy on IG2. This guy has the cleanest displays in the game. Great photography as well. Just does a really good job at capturing his display. And man, so good at posing, but also spacing figures out and really setting the scene. So go find him on IG and give him a follow. And then we got Thrawn's Office here, another channel member. Hello, all guys, pals, guys, gals, and hawk-tours out there. Thank you for being here, my friend. Hope you're doing well. We got Jose Hernandez in the house. Hello. We got Cam Collects. Hey. Striker 47. Good evening. Mighty Thor figure looks great. 9 out of 10. Just needs a little hawk-tour. We're going to talk about that figure in a little bit here too, so stay with us for that. Collection Obsession, Too Sweet to You. Hello, thank you for being a channel member. Yeah, where is the Chocolate Man? I was looking today and it says Q4 to Q1 of 2024, and I think that was even a delay initially. I thought it was Q3 originally of 2023, but I could be wrong. So I'm excited for that. I'm not going to complain because I want them to take their time. I want them to get the figure right. You know, it's a third party. It's Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka, and that means a lot to me as a as a child and just seeing that movie a lot. And I think even still today, it's still a staple in every kid's like movie selection that they watch. You know, maybe the Johnny Depp one and obviously the new one now, but I still think like that one is still iconic and
Oh yeah.
just something every kid needs to see. So yeah, looking forward to that. We got Mitchell Lawrence pushing through from London, UK. Welcome and thank you for staying up, I think, late with us.
Very late.
Really early, I'm not sure. But yeah,
like
thank
3
you for
o'clock
being
in the
here.
morning.
We got the movie canon, Evening Pack Collectors. Thank you for being here, Gio. One Adam 12, another channel member. Hey, Wolfpack, too sweet to you all, too sweet to you. We got Chris Santos in the house. How's everyone doing today? Doing good, doing good. You know, it's one of those days I kind of call like a cheat day. Like in my job, I'm in management and client relations, and I was able to take some clients golfing for 9 holes. So like it was kind of nice to like do that and still consider it work. So it's nice to have that, and I just kind of feel like it was almost like a mini break during the week, and now we have Wolfpack, so I'm just ready to go. We got RDS Geek. What's up, Wolfpack? Hope you're all doing well. Thank you. Yeah, collection obsession got hit with 4 invoices that are coming into. Yeah, I mean we talk about like Christmas time when these invoices start getting, start hitting. You know, like we're mid-year now, and it's kind of starting to do that too. So hopefully everybody's safe out there and kind of taking care of themselves.
Safe out there.
Plastic Crack Baby, load me up.
Traveling
for another
groups,
dose.
guys. It's dangerous out there.
It's dangerous out there. We got Batman collectibles. That Jackson sculpt is epic. Congrats. Definitely worth the wait. Yes. I'm so thankful. I think I was watching LWO back in January, and they were talking about it. And I didn't even know it existed. You know, I knew about OT Customs on Unreal, and those are amazing sculpts as well. However, you pay for those, and this one is a lot cheaper. So, is it perfect? You know, maybe not necessarily, but I think it really, really does the job. So, again, stay tuned for my video coming out in the next day or two on that. Oh, Action in the Box has been a channel member for 9 months. Thank you so much for the dedication and just the extra support. You guys all support me just by watching my content, and I really do appreciate that. It means a lot when you like, you comment, you interact with me, but taking that extra step and being a channel member is just really awesome, so thank you so much. Jazzy says, busy month for me too. Prime 1, Pfeiffer waitlisted, converted in-art Pennywise, Toby, Spidey, and black and blue suit, Spidey coming. My wallet is crying. That is nuts.
Damn.
We got 6 Scale Mafia in the house. Good friend of the channel. Hope you're doing well, Anthony. Another guy that I want to get back on the show too. We had a lot of fun when Anthony was on. So another guy that's really knowledgeable in the community, has a really great channel. So go follow him too and subscribe if you haven't already. Spec told me In-Art Batman is shipping Q3. I'm actually okay with that because I'm still trying to make up my mind if I'm keeping my pre-order or not. At this point I don't know. I don't think so, but I might. So, but this is the other thing that was kind of like imminent that I had to make a decision on. But I also know In-Art is really slow with getting this out to people, so I'm not too worried about it. But anybody here, we all have the Hot Toys Batman. Anybody here for sure getting the In-Art as well? Or a little hand raise. Rooted for both of you? Sculpted. High five.
Rooted.
High five. Shake hands. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Steve. I get that rooted, man.
That's,
Rooted all day.
D-Lo, are you still undecided about that?
It's a tough one, man. Because if it was any other character, I probably would have said no by now. But I'm a Batman fan, so you kind of have my heart a little bit, you know, when you do something that's like that. So for me, it's really going to be like, if I see it in person and I like it, great, I'm going to keep it. That's the end of that there. If it sucks, then now I know for sure. Like it's one of those things, like I need to see it for myself. I can't take anybody's word or anybody's review. I just got to see that myself because it's tough.
True, that's right.
It's a tough
I remember
one.
you saying that. And Sneaker, are you excited? You're gonna go with this one like
I'm
cowl
gonna hold
off?
my excitement because I ordered from Spec, so I'm gonna be holding my excitement for a while here.
Oh man.
Yep,
Bury it
so
deep.
Q3, man, that's like, yeah.
Right around the corner.
Another 3PO situation, but worse.
Yeah.
Um,
But worse.
And we saw this coming though, right? I mean, we
yeah,
talked
saw this
about
coming.
this.
I guess
Like,
it's
we
not
knew it.
horrible. It's not horrible. I'm kind of more so just half joking, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the figure. I definitely want it. Definitely want it. Really excited to get it. I've been wanting in our Batman for a very long time. Wish it was coming sooner. Yeah, can't wait for it.
More excited or less excited after seeing some reviews? Or
I would
seeing
say
them?
the reviews didn't really change me either way.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just.
You're very even keeled.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
This
just
is your
really
shooting
excited.
hand.
I'm excited about like the display possibilities too with having the with having the Hot Toys one as
If
well.
anybody can name that
like
movie, hit me up in the chat. Go ahead.
doing like a I don't know what I'm gonna do yet display wise, but it's nice like
okay.
having the Bat Cycle, having Hot Toys in Inart, because like honestly, if Inart didn't have one, I would consider maybe getting a second Hot Toys one, like with the Bat Cycle, and like
True.
there's just so many different options for it.
True.
Especially having the Batmobile. Like I kind of want to put one either with the Bat, like next to the Batmobile, posing like in it or something. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have it for sure.
Okay. All right, guys, you guys are on fire in the chat. 85 in the house. Hit that like button. Bear with me here. Again, we're going to get through this. JB is in the house. What's going on? West Michigan Collector says, y'all still going to Michigan in July at the Collector Zone? Yes. So 2 weeks, basically 2 weeks from tomorrow, we'll be picking DLO up in Chi-Town at the airport. We're going to head to Michigan. We're going to hang out. We're going to come back. We're going to hang out some more. And then we're going to send DLO back on his way. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. You know, I think even if I'm going live from my phone, I want to vlog some of this again, like I said before, but some of it's not going to be on there, but just us hanging out. But yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm not really sure what to expect from StatueCon, being that I don't collect statues, but I know he's got Hot Toys as well. And I'm just interested to kind of, you know, Network Sideshow will be there, 3-0, amongst other ones that I can't think of right now. So get to meet Marcos from Collector Zone. Hopefully, maybe Hawk Wars Toys will make an appearance on that Friday. We don't know yet, but yeah, just going to be a good time all around. Looking forward to hanging out with these guys in person. So we'll definitely share some of that with you.
Shenanigans, I call it now. We're going to get into shenanigans.
We got Collector Joey in the house, another channel member. Thank you for being here, my friend. Hope you're doing well. We got the Mall Fiend. Hello, hello. We got my father Django, another channel member. Hey, guys. Deadpool. How are those Blaleeden cases? Well, if I didn't have to say the word Blaleeden, probably be a lot better. But no, they're good. I'm not keeping all three of them. It's kind of a temporary setup. It was more so to review, to test out, see what my thoughts were. But I've one mono sitting here for the last few months that's just empty and dark and sad. But I did get another one from Maju Space that should be here mid-July. So then we're going to sell. I did sell 2 of these, but my buddy doesn't need them right away. So I'm going to keep one, move it somewhere else, put 2 monos here, maybe get a third down the line depending on how they fit. But they really are nice. They're a little flimsy. They're a little cheap. You got to add the lighting yourself. So somebody told me the Luke lights that they had went yellow over time. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen because these are the pure whites. But yeah, we'll
I know
see.
it can happen like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither. By the way, Steve, the Acolyte is still trash. I will have you know, Steve, that I am on episode 11 of Andor. So I will finish before Brick does, and I will finish within the next couple
I
days.
knew if I said that, you would watch it.
I've been motivated. No, it's good. Is it amazing? I don't know. It's good. I enjoy it.
This
Did
guy's
you
hiding
see-
lows.
Yeah.
What was the last episode you watched then, without like getting into spoilers?
Well, it's been out for a little bit. So
Well, Brick still
yeah,
watched.
but
Brick, what episode are you on?
Episode 10.
I am on 4.
I'll just call it the Breakout.
Yeah. Okay.
Great
Oh,
episode.
you saw that one? Yeah, that's one. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah,
of the
it's a
best
good one.
episodes of the show.
So we're getting there. We got the Ben Thomas Show in the house. What's going on, my friend? Probably my best friend from Canada, if I'm going to be honest. So I just want to put that out there. We are really good friends.
What's up, Ben?
We got Zach Davenport. I'd love a Trinity, but Wonder Woman is 1K now. Yes. Well, yeah. If we're being honest, I've been somewhat searching for a WB 100 Wonder Woman. Even if I could get the head sculpt, it would be great. But, but yeah, that thing is expensive. It's weird. As the 84 goes on in time, I get less and less excited about it. I was trying to pose it this weekend, and the arms don't go straight down. They're kind of like out, and it just really bothers me. So it's a good figure, the 84. I think it's the best one that's readily available. But damn, shit. Oh well. AZ Figs in the house. Hello, hello. He says, get the Topo Bank Robbers way better.
That's true.
We got Blue Tattoo. Hello. Yeah, Lord of the Rings. Had the orcs that were not CGI. We got Derek in the house. Hey, good evening, Wolfpack. Hope everyone is well and has a good week so far. It's been good. Toy Quest, what's going on? Thank you for being here. Ooh. Appreciate that. We got Wayne Timothy. Good to see everybody in the house. Bloody Edge. Hello. We got Brandon in the house too. My Mace Hot Toys will be here tomorrow. Congrats.
Nice.
We got Frank. If I skip over you guys, forgive me. I'm just trying to hit everybody up. We got Dirty South 09. Happy with Hot Toys version. It works for my display. I think he's talking about the Batman. I think I'm catching up to that.
Yep.
And we are good, I think.
Sure about that?
No, I'm still scrolling. You guys are killing it. We got X-Man Supreme. Hey, y'all, just gonna lay here listening to y'all's beautiful voices, feeling like 10 pounds of shit stuffed in a 2-pound sack. Sick?
Man.
Hopefully you feel better, man.
Some people pay
just
extra for
let
that.
us
Way to say it.
let our soothing voices just calm your innards and your head, and let us be the gospel that you need to.
A lot of innards going on in this.
You said innards. Sounds very uncomfortable with that word for some reason.
We got Cylon in the house too. Hello, everyone. And we are caught up. You know, it's 44 minutes, but I do like that segment where we say hi to everybody, but we also kind of break it up and have little mini conversations in there too. So, I'm going to stop talking for a little bit, and we're going to start by some figures that were announced. We got the Droideka 1/6 scale figure that is very interesting to me, but I want to hear from the guys on the panel. I want to hear from you guys in the chat what your thoughts are on this. If you're getting one, if you're getting two, if you think this is going to be super fragile, if you think it's going to be problematic, if you think it's going to be awesome. DLO, I want to start with you on this. Did you ever think we were going to get this figure from Hot Toys, being just kind of how it's really uniquely built?
Yeah, you read my mind. I mean, I shout out to obviously Brick and Steve. They've been campaigning for this for a while now. So I quietly just kind of said to myself, I don't think that's gonna happen, but it happened. We're here now, so that's cool, right? I'm always a big fan anytime we get something like alien base or like droid base when it comes to Star Wars. So this is really cool. I'm concerned a little bit about like the quality of it there, because I have the battle droid. You know, it's very flimsy, stuff like that, and that kind of concerns me. Does anybody know? I haven't had a chance to look. Does anybody know if there's any pieces of die cast in this here, or is this going
to be my next question too?
All plastic. See, that
Pretty sure it's
like I'm
plastic.
happy we're getting it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all plastic. Are the joints plastic too, though? Do you guys know? Like,
I think the whole thing.
Yeah,
because it looks plastic. I'm glad you guys
can be really
looked it up. Yeah.
Sneaker, why don't you go check on the details?
Yeah, I think I.
While we're
I'll double check. I don't think I saw any on there when I was looking, but
yeah, but
pretty cool that it folds up.
It's
like,
cool.
Like,
it folds up.
if you're gonna be doing that a lot, is it gonna weaken? Is it, how is that gonna hold up over time?
You're gonna snap something off.
Yeah. It's cool they can transform like that.
Metal copper paint applications. Or metallic copper paint applications. So no,
it's painted really
so
nice, by the way.
It's painted to look like what we want it to look like. Got it.
No metal.
Okay. Got it. Where's the shield, man? Does anybody want to answer that one for me? Why don't we have a shield?
Man.
So it's kind of weird, like not to have a shield for one.
Be pretty big.
What would you?
But
what would you make that out of? Like just like a
plastic shell.
Yeah.
Would that really even look good though? I don't know. I could see that looking pretty cheap.
I still want it.
They could have at
And
least
then
made
you're
like
gonna have that
a-
you're gonna have that seam around it where where it's connected and whatnot. I don't know.
but it could have been like a base that it came with like half of it being a shield, like or
Thank you,
something.
Tyler.
Could
Thank you.
have done something cool with that, but yeah.
He knows.
Well, I mean, as far as like the fact that we have it, it's cool in itself. I don't know if this is going to be for everybody. I personally am going to pick one up, just simply because the price for it seems a bit high. Just-
265, correct?
I think
Yeah.
so. I think I don't know. I think the Super Battle Droid and this are a little overpriced. I mean, I think it would make sense because you'd want two of those kinds of products, right? Like, droids, Super Battle Droids, Droideka right now. I think that's like, those are warranted, like justifiably picking up two, right? That's a clean army build there. But at that price range, 265, I mean, it's a lot to ask.
It's a
So, I
lot,
mean,
man.
I'll pick up one, but I wish, and this is just me, I just wish it was a little bit less because I would like to have two.
No
So-
base, right?
No base
No base. This
Which
is it.
is
comes with
it's
nothing.
fine because it's going to stand fine on its own, but it just might look odd next to all your other figures with the stands. But that's my OCD as well. That's not everybody. No, some people don't care about that, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's not a big deal. Looks great, but yeah, these are.
Yeah, I worry
small pieces.
about
You
it sitting on that plastic for so
shocks?
long
got- Yeah.
without like a a base or something.
Like it's going to be built very flimsy. That's the thing. It's one of those pieces where like you want to keep it in a pose and be done with it. I wouldn't be messing around with transforming it personally if I'm only going to have one, because I just feel like the more you play around with it, the more there's a chance that something like this would kind of break off of it or
Well,
something.
Well, we
It
talked
just
about like
sucks
these. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it sucks with like the Ahsoka figure. How we've had such problems with those arms just snapping when you're trying to do something. Like I could see this being problematic too. Like, or inadvertently, how you're trying to handle a figure, and like when you're doing that, your other finger or your hand bumps into something, and you just snap something because it's a flimsy piece. Like I could see that happening a lot with this too, whether it be, this top part here or this piston here. C3PO, the sideshow one, would break. Just those pieces that would move would break a lot too. So you're gonna have to just be really delicate. It looks great. The paint application looks awesome, but it's probably gonna have its flaws.
For sure, will we? I mean, but again, it's going to be one of those amazing backdrop pieces.
Sure.
One of those where just like it's just going to elevate whatever display you put it in. I don't know if it's going to be small to fit in a DTOF though. Just looking at the measurements on that thing.
What are the measurements?
I don't remember on top of my head, but
It says
pretty big.
12.9 inches tall, so it should fit, right?
It should fit.
yeah,
but
it's gonna,
How
it's
wide
gonna
is
be
it with those guns out?
Barely.
The guns are
right? That's what
blazing.
I'm thinking of.
It's
Like
gonna
the width,
take
not
up
the
some
height.
Is it gonna
shelf.
is it gonna look good to have its own shelf though? Is it good enough
That's
for
the
that? Like,
thing.
I don't know.
Have it in its ball. It's like a roly poly.
Yeah.
That's a lot to spend to just have it rolled up form, for me.
Right.
Right.
If if
Sneaker.
you're just getting one, I should say if you're just getting one.
Right. Sneaker, what would you pose this with? Like, what's in your head when you get these? What are you thinking you want to pose these behind or with?
Probably like a battle droid or super battle droid. But I'd probably want to pose them just in a case with other Phantom Menace figures, which we have very little of currently to pose with. But that's what I would prefer, if we get, if you pose them with Qui-Gon, and you have this on a shelf with like, I don't have a super battle droid, but if you have this on a shelf with like Qui-Gon and we get a Padawan Obi-Wan, and you get this with a battle droid and a super battle droid, like those 5 right there alone just are going to look really cool. So that's what I would want.
Yeah, really quickly too, we got Krivis in the house, 1138. Good evening, Wolfpack and chat. And we got Zach. It's crazy you can pick this or spend a little extra and get Han Solo. Yeah, I mean, priorities, right?
That's perspective for sure.
Hera is the
And-
same price as this figure. Like
What?
Hera Syndulla is the same.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
I'd much rather have Hera.
Yes.
What a peach. How you figures in the house. It's all fun and games until these invoices hit at the same time.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, my friend. And yes, be well, be safe, pay those off.
Text me
He was
back, bro.
beautiful.
Damn.
But look at this picture too. Like, if we go back, look at how much movement you're gonna have to do to bend these to get it into its little roly-poly, as what I'm gonna call it tonight. Look at that. Like, I'm not saying don't buy it or anything. I'm just saying be aware. Like, this is gonna be a flimsy figure that's made out of plastic. That just be careful with. Like, even my bat pod, like, just the arms go out and in a little bit, and like, you bump something and like the handlebar breaks off, you know, and then you gotta glue it back on. So it is what it is, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, this is very much a set it and forget it kind of figure, for sure.
I bet the box is gonna be big for this too, the art box.
It's probably going to be in that 20th anniversary box, I imagine, right?
I wonder how they're gonna have. Yeah, I wonder how they're gonna have it displayed in there. Are they gonna have it like rolled up?
That's a good question.
And then you have to unfold it.
What if they just roll it up? If they just roll it up and put it in like a different type of art box?
Thank you, Jose. Jose knows what's up.
Maybe the box will be the shield.
I gotta pre-order that figure yet. Could I just get Hera and be okay?
No,
the Ahsoka line.
You gotta get Chopper.
You guys just went.
You get that 2-pack, bro.
He's got me back on the Hera talk, so.
Yeah, Hera's great, no problem. But yeah, you gotta get Chopper, bro. That's just, yeah. What are we talking about here? Sneaker, talk to your boy.
Come on, man.
Sorry, you guys are completely just lagging on me for like the last 20 seconds. What was that?
Well,
are we good now?
Graham was talking crazy.
You should go all in on the Ahsoka line. Yes, you should.
Yeah, in a nutshell. But he was thinking about going Hera, but skipping on Chopper though. You believe this guy?
No, I didn't say that. I just asked if I could have just her because
sure about that?
I haven't pre-ordered any.
The
problem is I haven't pre-ordered anything, and I know that stuff's going to start going waitlist. So,
well, we'll see about that.
But I need pre-ordered anything either.
Yeah, that's like with the Guardians. It's just kind of one of those things. I got to wait and see where I'm at.
See, the Ahsoka
Guardians is a little bit more up in the air though because they didn't finish the damn line.
You need to stop with that Guardian talk, bro. I'm over it. We're done. R.I.P. Burn it. No one's getting those figures. Okay.
Until Drax is announced tomorrow.
You don't have to be.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. And just like that, we're back.
DLO just did this to me.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Too sweet, 2D.
Freaking just crushed my dreams. All right. Brick, are you getting these? 1, 2.
You guys know I'm a huge fan of Menace fan, but I'm gonna pass on these only because I do feel like it's a little pricey for what you get. It doesn't come with a base. It's full of plastic. I'm afraid that it will break. It doesn't come with a shield.
Man, I really talked you out of it.
Yeah. Well, it's just all of that, and then like I would never fold this thing up, and
knowing you, I do believe that. I do 100%.
I would never fold this up, and if it came in the box folded, I'd probably never unfold it because I would so easily break this thing. Like the leg would get tangled up in a wire or something, and it would pop off, and I just now for those who have it, I do think it's really cool, and for big Star Wars fans like Sneaker here that probably will buy a couple or whatever, but yeah, it's gonna be an amazing droid to have like in the background or something too. And I'm sure when I see it over at Sneaker's house, I'm gonna wish I got it. But as of right now, like Buzz Lightyear, for example, I love Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear looks super awesome. Like he's one of my favorite figures in my collection, to be honest. But he's super light. He's full of plastic, and that part bothers me. When you move his arms and his legs, you just hear that plastic, And I know I'm gonna have that with this figure.
Gives him the chills.
But yeah. So I'm holding off. At least.
And when
now.
you say Sneaker's gonna buy a couple, really what you mean is a handful.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
No way.
We all
You're not gonna do that.
I'm only buying one of these.
There you go.
I thought you said 2. My bad.
I'm proud of you, Steve-O. Yeah.
Wait, do I get to say something about this figure?
You did already. I asked you a question. You answered.
Actually, I said one word. I asked you about the podcast, and then I didn't talk for the rest of my time. But yeah,
That was it.
you said a couple.
Go ahead.
Brick, are you done?
I'm done.
No, I mean I'm only getting one because the problem is like I said, we all know the big sad is incoming basically next week for a lot of people in the chat.
That's still pending. I haven't settled on that one yet.
Yeah.
Big sad.
Well, for me, it's definitely that's what it is. But like I said, there's happiness in mourning. Okay. But yeah, so
put up a poll, Graham.
when it comes to the big sad, making decisions like this where you buy two of these, where one is $265 like before shipping, and if you buy from places where you have to pay tax, like that's $530 for two of these. Like that's a lot to get two of these with all this stuff coming out. So as much as I would love to have multiples of this, like it would be really cool to have three of them all posed up in their different, in the different forms, right? But right. I just can't justify with how much stuff is coming out, and how much other stuff I want to get, like that Boba Fett, for example. With how much stuff that I want, how much stuff I want to get, it's really hard, at least for over the course of this next year. And it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better as far as stuff coming out. I was saying, like, I think I have figures in 2025 that are coming out. Like there's already like 7 or 8 on my list that I'm 100% going to be getting in 2025. And like, that's not all the figures that end up getting pushed from like later in this year. So like, for me, there's just no room to get more than one, unfortunately, as much as I would like to have more than one. But it's awesome. It probably is going to feel like the components that are in like the battle droid, and that is probably like one of the lightest figures that I probably have in the collection. That figure is so light, and I've heard the same thing about the super battle droid. It looks really good, but the look is deceiving, and it's a very, very like light figure because it's just like pure plastic. So I would imagine this is going to be very similar as far as the materials go. The arms are probably going to be really, really easy to move because they're so light plastic with the hinges and all that on them. And yeah, so, but I'm just getting one. Would love to get 2. Love to get 3. I'd love to get multiple. Where are those droidekas?
I'm joking.
Dang, I
He's
can't believe we
joking,
didn't
everybody.
get Newt Gunray queued up for this stream. Come on, man.
Sorry. Gosh,
You
I
should've.
lost my train of thought. Well, I think we're done here. I don't know. Oh, I did a poll. Yes, while he was talking about only getting one because of the big sad. So I did a poll. If you're taking part in the big sad, that means you're going to be getting all these invoices at once. So you don't really have a choice. You're just doing it or you're not. So if you're getting a ton of invoices popping up probably soon here, then you're going to be taking part in the big sad. That means like things are just really quick. Sneaker, what are some of the things that you've noticed, or you guys on the panel that you've noticed are going to be shipping soon? Like they're giving you shipping options and stuff like that.
Yeah, so for me, it's next week, red and blue suit Spider-Man, Tom Holland, Deluxe. C-3PO from C-3PO from Return of the Jedi.
Man, I
and
sold
then
my
Mace
figure already.
Mace Windu, you sold her?
No, I'm just kidding. I didn't.
Mace Windu is going to be apparently shipping soon. Like all these I'm getting from Underground Figures. The other ones that have updated boxing options on Sideshow, which is usually indicative of them shipping soon, is Black and Gold Iron Man, the Mandalorian armor Obi-Wan, Black Suit Spider-Man. Something that's probably going to be very imminent too, I would imagine, is the Clone Commando from the Bad Batch. I think that's my list
too,
right now.
If you didn't
yeah,
say
and
him.
Anakin, and hopefully, did you say they updated box options for him too on Sideshow?
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go.
That is the
There's
big
like-
sad, everybody.
Yeah,
So
that's
vote.
like where it's, and that doesn't, I guess, apply so much to like this figure in particular, but it's only going to be crazier when like if it's that bad now, and we have all of the Ahsoka figures that have yet to drop later this year. That's when
And
like the real. That's the
I know
real big
DLO
sad.
doesn't like when I bring it up, but those Guardians are coming out around the same time. I'm just saying. I'm not.
I
Doesn't mean I have to
just
get
said
them.
it a second ago. You make it sound like you've been saying that for months or something. But yeah,
What if they like make like Drax like an exclusive?
Like Artisan.
No,
Like-
it's like a, what if
like
they
a
just
lottery?
what if they just shadow
Wow.
drop Drax and lottery him?
Real tattoo.
Wow, that would be a dick move that I could see them doing.
Uh,
I could see that happening. It's not
Gosh.
likely, but I could see it. I could see that world.
Limited to 1,500.
Yeah,
Can
like
you imagine
limited to
just messing with
1,500 and
it?
ships
Yeah.
out within 2 weeks, like some of these other figures.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be crazy.
Christian wants to know, anyone have the Justice League 2-pack on the panel? I do.
Indeed. Yeah. Same.
He's really looking at these. He's looking right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, he's
He's like,
probably
save up
listening
for
to
that
us
mace,
and
bro.
scrolling eBay right now.
Save up for
I'm
that
not
mace.
even that sideshow discount on that, bro. It's like buy one get one free basically for that thing.
Yeah. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? Is it worth it? Do we enjoy it? Do we think you should get it? Let us know what you want to know about the 2-pack. I love the Nightmare Batman, but Black Suit Superman is just okay for me. I already snapped his foot
All right.
trying to pose him to a while
I'm gonna
back,
bring
so-
it out.
I was
Oh,
there.
I'm gonna bring it out. Hold on.
So he's in Forever Flight mode. But no, I mean they're good. I think everybody who's a Batman fan needs a Nightmare Batman, whether you get the OG or this one. The difference with the OG is that the body of the figure is a little smaller, because obviously with these 2.0s they're scaling them up. And then there's actually not as much weathering on the 2.0. It's a lot cleaner. They changed the coat, which I still think you should get a custom coat. There's plenty out there that are really good too.
All right,
But
I got it.
DLO has a one of a kind here, pretty much.
I don't know if it's a one of a kind, but yeah, I saw it and I
Limited.
had to have it there. Mm. So that's the head sculpt I was telling you guys about.
Dude, that
Went okay?
is sick.
Dang.
Yeah, that's
That
cool.
is it there.
Come on.
Fully weathered as well too. I mean, it is.
Which code is that? Is that the 1/6 kit?
This
or
is the
the-
Daft Toys one.
Okay.
The Daft Toys one over here. So, and I'm going to eventually be getting the Topo one. I'm not sure if you guys have seen that one, but that one kind of looks like a leather bound one. It looks a little bit more accurate.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be getting that one. If you pre-order it, I believe they throw in like extras as well too. I think some
Bring him back up.
some
Bring 'em back
wraps. Oh, sure.
up. Oh yeah, there it is.
My arms hurts, boss. But yeah, no, it's
Don't ask what's going on over here.
no,
Don't
it's
ask.
fantastic. But I'm gonna get that Topo Toys one. I think if you pre-order, you get like the arm wraps, you got the scarf, you get I think like because the figure is very inaccurate. Like to be clear, like as far as like the colors of certain piece of it, this is a very inaccurate piece there. But yeah, bro, I got you. Hold on, let me pull me up one more time for Justin. There you go, full 360 coming up. So full around. There you go, buddy.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's
I like
fantastic.
the gun.
Once I get that code, it's gonna take it to the next level. But because I mean that's the thing, guys. Like when it comes to Batman, I will modify because I want perfection with my Batman. That's why I'm so crucial, so very hard on stuff when it comes to Batman. But yeah. Once you get that Topo set with all the extras that comes with it too, like this thing is gonna be next level. I can't wait. It's that head sculpt. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Do I still have it here? Hold on one second. Yeah, here we go. Hey, one more time. Bring me up to the front if you don't mind.
Yes.
So you guys can see it one last time. So I showed you the new one, right? And this is the one it replaced. I kind of
Blurry.
there you go. 1.
2.
Ooh, why is it so blurry? There he goes.
1.
Got a little
2.
hot poo on that thing.
See that?
Spit on
I mean-
that thing.
Massive difference there.
I spit at that thing.
Yeah, guys. It's yeah.
Before you
You know
showed
my
that one.
favorite figure that you have? Oh, go ahead, Graham.
I was just gonna say, before you showed the original one, I got mine out too, so he could see
Oh yeah, right on.
the OG. Well, this isn't the OG, but this is the 2-pack with a 1/6 kit coat, which I really love the coat.
Did you guys
and
have this
like?
planned?
No, I
You guys
just
have
went and got it
both
while
of
he
them
was
now?
showing the other one. But
Oh, okay.
it's a lot cleaner than the 1.0, but it's gonna be a bigger body, and the stock coat is better. But like his head sculpt looks way better than this one. But at the same time, if you're a big Batman fan and you don't have this, like this is awesome. He's got the automatic rifle, he's got the binoculars. You know, it's just the coat itself. You know, he's just a beast. So definitely. Christian, if you're in the market, whether it's the 2-pack or you go with the 1.0 and you just kind of get the coat, you know, that's an option too. But man, that's what I'm saying too. Like, I think the head sculpt looks really good, but then when DLO shows that one, I'm just like, fuck.
It's night and day. Well, what's different is that the collar is a lot shorter. It's designed to hold a jacket, so the proportions get better as an added bonus with it. So it's just a massive upgrade to a figure there. I mean, the figure is great, but that head sculpt, next level. Rickster, you were saying something before we cut you off. My bad.
No,
bro.
it just, no worries. It reminds me of a figure that you have that I cannot get enough of. Every time you show it on a video or mention it on a live stream, your Nightmare Joker, Jared Leto.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite figure that you own, and I love seeing that thing.
Yeah,
So.
it's a one-of-a-kind custom over there, man. I'm going to put these two bad boys together after the stream.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
We got Luis in the house. He says, "What is the big sad?" So that is where all of the pre-orders are going to be hitting at once very soon, and you're going to be taking part in the big sad if those are your pre-orders and you're paying for
Terrible
it like
name.
at once.
Graham is like pulling a promo on this thing.
When Sneaker
Hashtag
gets
the
all
big
of
sad.
his,
I like it.
when Sneaker gets all his figures in, I want to see like a new thumbnail with like 5-6 figures saying the big sad.
Dude, so
I
Christian
will take a
asked not
picture.
to
I'll take a
not to
picture
go
when I
off
get
on a
everything.
tangent here, but he asked if the Superman's any good, and I would say, and D'Lo might have a different perspective on this, but I think the in-art one looks night and day better than this one. So, like, do you think it's more worth it to just get the 2-pack, or like, do you think maybe in-art Superman and then the 1.0 Nightmare, or look for a loose Nightmare, or like?
As far as we're specifically just talking about just the Batman alone,
so
not the
he's a big
Superman.
Batman fan. And he's looking at that 2-pack, but then he's asking if that Superman's any good. Like, should he just go in and get that 2-pack and be done with it, or do you think it's worth waiting for the in-art Superman and then maybe finding a Nightmare elsewhere?
Well, I would say this here. No, this is what I would say, because this one was overly produced, right? This was overly produced here. So this one constantly goes on sale all the time. And I've seen it go down as low as maybe $250-ish, $300 for a 2-pack. So, I mean,
Thanksgiving
essentially,
it'll be a pretty good set
right.
too.
You're reading my mind again. Yeah. So, I mean, Thanksgiving's around the corner. There's a lot of sales coming up there. You're going to find this on a deal that's going to justify buying it, because it'll be like buy one,
Spectacular.
get one. But also, bringing up the whole Superman for a second here,
Mhm.
keep in mind, there will be a BVS Superman coming. Like, it's inevitable.
True.
We've got two 2.0 Batmans from BVS. I guarantee you that whole line is going to get tapped again. So someone's going to get a swing at a Wonder Woman. Is it going to be rooted? I don't know, but it will definitely happen. And a BVS Superman will 100% happen again. So find this one on a deal. Hold out. Wait to see what Hot Toys does, because my money bet is going to be that they're going to do another one too. It's just a matter of time.
There you go. But being the big Batman fan I am, if you could find a 1.0 or a loose, I would pull the trigger. But that's just me, because
find a
I
good
would-
deal, get the
a
best one. The
Nightmare Batman,
2.0
gotta
is
have a Nightmare
better. The 2.0 is 100% better than the original one. It's more
bigger.
articulation on it. The size of it, everything. It has been upgraded. It's not a slouch. It's just not a complete just thrown in the box. It is an upgrade. So get that one. Don't get the 1.0. You'll thank me later.
Really quickly, we got Denobi 2 in the house. He says, raise the shields on the big sad then. We also got Clinton Martin in the house. Says, howdy, folks. What's going on, Clinton? Thank you for being here. And speaking of the big sad, I'm going to end that poll. So hopefully, this was just a fun joke thing, but 69% said no. They're not taking part in the big sad. I wonder what percent of that didn't know what the hell I was talking about. We had 36
like another poll
votes on that one. But so we're now going to make a poll on if you knew what I was talking about with that question. No, I'm just kidding. We got Joe P in the house too. What's going on? Thank you for joining us tonight. Mace Windu just hit 89 Batmobile and Clone Wars Obi-Wan invoices coming soon. Has Sideshow shipped out that 89 Batmobile yet? Because is that another one that's been kind of lagging behind?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, they have.
Have they?
I know. Like some
Imagine
people
getting that
who
invoice.
Stateside, you mean?
I know some people have actually got it from Underground, and it shipped direct from Sideshow. Like Sideshow just drop shipped it to them rather than going to Underground first.
Interesting.
Yeah, who have it in hand already? Yeah.
Is that moonshine over there? What do you got there?
This is a
Looks like it doesn't have a label.
This is a
Right?
bourbon. Yeah, this is it's called Traveler whiskey. My buddy Chad gave me this to try, so he gave me the bottle. And, I don't know, blended whiskey, I guess.
So he gave me, that's what you do when you drink a lot of bourbon. It gave me it to try, just gave me the bottle.
Yeah,
You want to try it?
No,
Here you go.
looking, just have a sip. So
You want
can
to try it? Here you
share
go,
the
sir.
rest.
Here you
Bourbon?
go, take it.
Oh, man. You guys are
That's funny.
Good stuff.
We got Figurecraft in the house, too. He says, good evening. Happy hump day. Yes, happy Wednesday to you as
Definitely.
well. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Thank you for being a channel member as well of the Jedi Knights Watch. All right. Man, I am having a good time tonight. So many good
I bet.
mini conversations within these big conversations. Let's get back to a big conversation, though. So this figure was released last night, early this morning, however you want to look at it. And this is going to be, I don't know what her accurate name is. I always call her Lady Thor, but this is the Thor figure from the Love and Thunder movie, Natalie Portman. I've briefly looked at these photos, but I know Brooke was the guy that was more so interested, I don't know about in this line, but in this movie, like getting his Thor from this movie. So I want to know, kind of, Brooke, what your thoughts are going first here on this figure. Obviously, you know, we're getting used to more of these lady figures with rooted hair. So I also want to know kind of like what you think about the sculpted hair and the likeness to Natalie Portman. Was this a straight use of Attack of the Clones? Padme? What are your thoughts? And are you going to consider getting this?
Yeah, I'm.
Questions.
Yeah, it's a lot of questions.
Just answer
I
one of them. Just pick one. Just pick one.
No, I really do like the Thor figure, especially the head sculpt. You know, it might not be the most accurate head sculpt, but like texture-wise, detail-wise, I absolutely love that. But with Mighty Thor here, or Lady Thor, whoever she is, Graham, now you got me questioning myself if Mighty Thor is the right answer.
I think it's Mighty Thor.
Okay.
But I always call her Lady Thor.
Dude, I think she looks really, really good. I think she came out really nice. That's Natalie Portman right there. I think everything. I mean, I think it looks better than what I've seen before. You know, but that being said, I don't know if it's the same head sculpt as Padme. I'm sure a lot of people will probably say that it is with different paint apps and whatnot, but I haven't really looked too into that. But yeah, I think she turned out great. She might actually be the best in the line, I think, at least from pictures. I haven't seen any in person, obviously, but speaking of the hair, I do wish that it was rooted. You know, because it's like rooted is like the big, it's always been a big thing, right? But now with InArt and everything and Artisan, and you see these sculpted hair pieces, it's kind of like, I do wish that it was rooted, especially with her, with some of these pictures. You know, you're going to want to kind of do some action poses, and I don't want that restriction, you know, or anything like that. So, but yeah, really good looking figure. She turned out nice, you know, beautiful head sculpt. So yeah.
The only pushback that I would give on rooted, and if they go artisan, that might be a different story. But I know with Golden Armor Wonder Woman, once you put that helmet on, it really just effed up the hair, and it was really hard to get it back to the way it was. They did put a little product in it.
Well,
but
and that's the thing too, is are they going to even do rooted hair for figures if it's not artisan? You know what I mean? Is that right. Like the only way you get rooted these days now?
I mean, that's kind of a good question. Like, are they just done with Barbie hair and everything that they're going to do rooted? Is that just going to be considered artisan?
Right. And I mean, I obviously, I don't think anybody really expects them to do an artisan Mighty Thor, but it would be nice if she was rooted. I don't know. But I mean, she looks great. I'm not complaining. You just, one of the questions that you asked. So yeah. I think she looks good.
That's complaining. But no, I'm just kidding.
I'll take it as complaining.
Yeah. Damn it.
No, I think she's a cool looking figure, but unfortunately, I didn't like the movie, so it's not something I'm interested in. Steve, do you feel any differently? Are you kind of on the same?
Yeah, I wasn't really into the movie much. Even from like the opening scene, I wasn't into the movie. I just felt like it just
like
did
the splits.
Yeah, exactly. Like I did not feel the vibe of the movie right off the bat when they were like yeah, when like the music is playing or whatever, and the opening scene when Thor comes down and whatever, it was so forgettable for me. I couldn't even remember. And I'm not really all that picky about movies. And this one just like, I did not like the ending. Just there's a lot of things about the movie that I could go on about the things I didn't like about the movie, but the figure looks great. I think Thor, like, yeah, whenever I see a figure like this come out, then it makes you kind of want, the Thor figure to go with it. So if I got this one, I'd want the Thor, but I just don't have an interest in getting either this one or Thor, but I think it looks really good. I think it turned out actually really nice. I think these photos are actually really well done too. If Graham, if you so kindly could scroll through a couple here. Keep going. There's one I really like actually.
I feel like Steve does this to me every week. Keep going. That's
a little bit more. That's pretty cool. Oh, this one. I really like this photo. Yeah, this looks really dope. I think it's a really cool post. Is this I'm guessing this cape is wired, right? That looks like a wire on the side, kind of similar to like how Thor's cape is too, right? So yeah, I mean, it looks cool. This is actually a really like cool pose. So cool, but the movie wasn't good enough for me to really consider it. And like, I just don't have an interest. It's not even so much the movie. I just really like don't have an interest in these characters. And like I said before, for Thor, like the Thor that I want in my collection is Infinity War until they inevitably drop an Avengers Thor artisan figure, which is really likely to happen. I feel like we all probably believe that at this point. So passing on these ones.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, she looks great. Got the seamless arms, which thank you for doing.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Let's see here. We got David in the house. What's going on, my friend? Figurecraft says the whole rooted versus sculpted hair debate goes back and forth. I was under the impression collectors wanted sculpted instead of Barbie hair. No, I would say yes. I would much rather have sculpted over the Barbie hair. Half the time, I'd rather have sculpted over the artisan hair, just because I think it's really hard for them to get even just the hairlines accurate with that, the volume with the hair, getting that right with artisan, and maybe that just takes time to work out, and they'll nail it. But
I just feel like rooted has gotten a lot better now too. So that's that's why I kind of like, it'd be nice to have a rooted head sculpt here, but yeah. I'd rather have this than Barbie as well.
Because the Barbie hair is the stuff that they used to use. Like, it's my my Gamora, and it's not great. It's like the old Black Widows and stuff like that too. So like, I'm fine with sculpted. Like I've said it in the past, I don't want to mess with the hair myself. It's like messing with a wired cape. Like I see photographers, they get it right, and I just look at mine. I'm like, man, it's like when those pictures of like making a cake and the expectation versus reality. Like I feel like that would be me with something like this. So but I don't know if you guys have any other stances on sculpted instead of Barbie hair, or if you have any thoughts on that.
There's a time and place for all of them, honestly. I think and I've said this a million times here, if it's shorter hair, I believe it should be sculpted. If it's longer hair, I think there should be a place for rooted. I think there's a place in collecting for both. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I would say it depends on the type of collector you are. I'll example here. So if you have a character that is going to be more of a more museum pose, sculpt is really not a big deal. It's really not going to hinder what you essentially want to display your figure as. But let's say you're a person who likes to articulate, pose a lot deeper, push it to limits, if you will. Well, then root is going to be your best friend, because then you have total range in that there. And then essentially you're going to get the exact look. So if you're a person who likes to pose, or better yet, you're a person who loves to do photography, you're going to get some amazing, range out of that figure if you go that route. So, but I mean, the thing about rooting and sculpted is that they're both hit or miss. Sometimes rooted can be absolutely the right call. Sometimes it can just be just ugly, and you just got to deal with it. I don't know. And the same thing can be said for sculpted as well. Just everything is different. What I'm a fan of is a mixture of doing something modular, like they did with the Batman with Hot Toys, where they gave you hair pieces to kind of give it that winded look, or the John Wick that we're going to get soon. Something like that, where you can replace the stagnant pose of the hair and give it a more flair and pop out so it has a more action look. So that way, there's no fussing involved. It's just a matter of taking one piece out, sticking another one in, and you're going to get the full range of that figure. I think that's the fair compromise, because I just think long term, like, we're like, not all of us have, I don't think everybody has a rooted figure. I think that'd probably be a good poll to put up. Like, you know, how many people have a rooted figure yet? It's not for everybody. Some people say it's very easy to work with. Some people have a very hard time with it. So it just really all depends. And it's just going to be one of those things where, like, you got to, like, have one in hand to really know if this is going to be something you want to do with all your figures. Because for me personally, sometimes I just want to set it up and kind of put it in the background and call it a day. I don't want to have to fuss with something a lot. That's just me most of the time. So, yeah.
Well, I did start a new poll asking if collectors do have any rooted hair figures in their collection. But when I did that, I had to end another poll, and it was, you know, is this Hot Toys Mighty Thor coming home? We only had 27 votes, so let's be a little bit better. But we had 66% say no, 22% said yes, and 11% said Hawk Tua.
Gave the option. Didn't know that was an option. I would have voted.
Yeah. So, all right. But now let's just hear if you guys have any, because it's weird because I have almost 100 figures, and I think I only have one that has rooted hair, and it's the Gamora figure from a few years back. So I don't know if part of that is me staying away from it, or just the fact that Hot Toys really doesn't make a lot of figures, or hasn't in the past made a lot of figures that had rooted hair. I mean, it's weird. The older Hot Toys seem to have more of the Barbie hair, and then they went more sculpted, and now they're going more artisan. Because like all the Black Widows were rooted, and then Endgame was sculpted. The solo movies were sculpted. So,
yep.
You know, Wonder Woman sculpted, the last one. So, interesting. What are the thoughts you guys have on this thing here? What else is going through your mind? Is this a reuse of Padme?
It is.
Yeah, I'm starting to. Yeah,
100% is. Well, on the contrary, I think Padme is probably reuse of this the other way around, because that's not young, you know, episode 2 Natalie Portman. So I think it's the other way around. I think
they took this one and put it on Padme. Yeah.
Right. I think this one came out good. They were happy with this one came out, and they reused and repurposed it here. This my guess there. But listen, I know this isn't going to be a figure for everybody, and I'm even on the fence on it myself. I just see potential for this being something that is going to be sought after afterwards. It's just kind of one of those weird things with the Thor franchise where figures get overlooked in more favorable ones. I'm thinking of like Thor Ragnarok, when we had like everybody jumping for Gladiator Thor, but nobody was going for Road Worn Thor. And look how much that blew up afterwards. So I'll admit this is not the best movie, right? And I think a lot of that plays into the value of figures, in my opinion, sometimes. But I think to myself, if you watch the movie, there's a high probability this is probably the only chance you're going to get at a Lady Thor. So I think, you know, from solely just from a fan perspective, if you're interested in this figure, go with confidence and get it. I think it's going to be something that it's going to be safe to get. I don't think you're going to be unhappy with it. I think this is the best figure out of the line as far as what the finals come out, in my opinion. So, you know, if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, keep it trucking. Put it on a Droideka or something.
Yeah. Does this come with any other accessories?
A ton.
What all does it? Okay.
Yeah, it's got some lighting effects, the broken down Mjolnir. I mean, it's
and then the mask or whatever with like half broken, right?
Yeah.
I saw that. Okay. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I don't know. I'd want to get the Thor first, you know. Got to get the Thor first.
Sure.
But it's like Steve said, he's gonna want both of them. You know, if you got one, you're gonna want both.
Yeah, I'd want both for sure. It's kind of crazy. Like the waitlist is the collector edition for this on Sideshow. The waitlist is full. The special edition, I know, I know like the exclusive like version isn't available in all the markets, but like all the markets that can't get the special edition, the collector's edition waitlist is full. So, and the figures waitlist is so like people want this,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Is it on Underground at all?
I don't know. Let me look.
Man, I need to pre-order that Miles Morales yet.
Yeah, she's on Underground still.
That's on Underground.
Thor is on Underground too.
Thor's
They're
in stock
all,
at that show.
all four figures
right.
from this movie are on Underground Figures right now. Gore, Valkyrie, Thor, and Mighty Thor.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle because I mean, arguably, it's probably the worst Thor movie out of the four. So,
Yeah.
but the
And it's
figures
crazy
are great.
they did 4 figures. Crazy. They're good figures, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Valkyrie, something I've always wanted as well. I mean, I've always wanted either like the Endgame or the Ragnarok version of her. So this one, I want her, but I don't want this version of her. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of holding out hope that they do another one, and maybe
The
I get the one I
Ragnarok
want.
version would be sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Gladiator Thor. You know, I'm a big Thor fan myself. I wouldn't mind getting like the full on Valkyrie white armor. That's cool too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got some cool options with her. So I'm kind of holding out for the version I want. But these figures are bangers, man. It's just if this movie hit, this would be like the No Way Home line for the next Marvel batch. You know what I mean? But bad movie just doesn't this doesn't appeal to collectors.
Well said, everybody. Thank you for keeping that going while my dog had to take a deuce. Appreciate it. Yeah, so here are the 4 figures you guys were saying like they did for this movie. So they kind of do look badass, minus Valkyrie, but just not something I could get into because the movie just was not good. All
Hard to
right.
justify.
Yeah. And like we said earlier, like you can even like a movie, but still doesn't mean you have to collect the line from it, you know. Even just this hobby's expensive. You should really love the stuff that you're collecting. So
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
do, then get it. If not, then pass. All right. Anything else on Mighty Thor, Lady Thor? Do you think the I've only seen the movie once, but do you think the broken helmet looks a little like weird?
In what kind of way?
I mean, so I don't remember exactly, but like was she like battle damage at it? Like was the suit more beat up, or was it just like this and she just got popped in the face and then part of the mask broke? I don't remember.
Yeah, you know, that's a good question.
Because I don't know if they're going for a little battle damage look, but it's completely clean with just a piece missing. So I don't know. Just
I want to say this part is actually accurate. I think it was just to the helmet itself, but I would have to watch it back again. But I'm pretty sure. I think when she was fighting Gore, that like she took a swing and like he kind of knocked the piece off. But I think her
that
arm was
makes
fine.
sense. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
That picture with Thor and her like holding the hammer together and like he's passing it to her,
Did I
that's
pass
really
it
cool.
already?
I like
Oh,
that.
one.
It's cool.
It's dope.
Nice touch.
Very, very good. Okay. We also had this guy, and sorry, the picture might be a little small, but he was oddly enough released, but never had any blogger photos on the Hot Toys page. So just odd. But they probably just wanted to get this out and not worry about it anymore. But this is Kang figure. I think this looks really cool as opposed to his portrait. I don't know if that turned out necessarily the best, but that's just, again, my opinion. What do you guys think about this one? Is this just going to be a figure that we forget about in the next month and it just blows away in the wind?
I like
Yeah.
the blue heads. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like the blue head sculpt a lot though. I think the suit, the outfit is very comic book accurate, so I like that. But I mean, I've never seen the movie, so I have no connection to this at all. And then I hear the movie wasn't great, and then everything that's going on with the actor, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, just not too there for me.
Yeah, the movie wasn't great. It took me, I think, 3 tries to get through it. But I don't
right there with you.
spoil anything.
I don't know, Graham. It sounds like that's like normal for you for like all media, regardless if you like.
Well, it doesn't help when you do watch it at like 9 at night, but
Probably not.
it's like knocking over a vending machine. You know, you got to rock it back and forth a few times before it finally falls over. But no, like he does carry some other weight too, though. Like I know a lot of collectors want just based off of like this is the 1/6 character of King that they can get, you know, comic book wise, or do I dare say, you know, from the Loki series, you know, like you could get this and not really look at him as from Quantumania. I think, you know, you could definitely enjoy this as something else, as just for the character itself, especially if you're going to go with, like, you know, this look. Is this a light up effect? I don't even remember with this one either.
His eyes light up in that one.
So that's... Well, what about the blue? He's just painted blue?
Yeah.
Yes,
Looks like there's
correct.
some sort of effect here. Okay. I don't know. What do you guys think about the head sculpt, the portrait?
It's okay.
It looks a little, like, fake. Like,
I think like the main miss is the hair. Like they didn't get the paint
Sure,
application
rooted.
of the hair. His hair looks too plasticky. And I think like that throws the sculpt off a little bit. Just I don't think like they got the sculpt of his hair right. But I like the blue. I like the blue. Like yeah, like what Brick said. Like I like the blue look, like the blue face look. Like I actually think like this. Like I've had a lot of people actually like message me on the side, just people I've been talking to, like who are really excited for this figure. Like kind of like to Delo's point of like this is the only Kang that really like people are going to be able to get. And a lot of people, like I know obviously there's all the stuff with the actor, but there's going to be people who obviously just kind of look past that and they want to have a Kang represented in their collection, which is totally fine as well. And we don't like what's the future of this character now that he's gone. Like there's not going to be another Kang figure for a really long time, so like now is kind of your chance if this is one that that you want in the collection. I think he looks cool. This is the look that I would go for. I wouldn't use the other head sculpt. I don't think it looks bad by any means, but I just prefer this look for the figure overall. But I say that also by saying I'm not getting this figure. But yeah, those are kind of just my thoughts on it. I think this actually looks looks pretty good like this.
well, and it's not really any different than like the Flash, you know, with Ezra Miller. You know, if you know, we could look past and just get it for the Flash because we really like the character. There's people that can do the same thing with this as well. They want it for the character and they can look past that. I don't think it necessarily means you're supporting him as an actor. I just think you know, you just want that representation of the character in your collection. So I think, yeah, that's a good point. What else?
This was very much a very what's the right way to put this here? Very down low kind of release there. Almost like kind of they were embarrassed to even have to release it there, if I'm being honest. Just the way it feels like it was very under the radar. I think that's what I was looking for. Better, more under the radar kind of release. Kind of like it exists, but we're not going to broadcast it there. I think honestly, this probably would have been kind of funny. You mentioned Flash here, but it's kind of funny. I feel like this would have been on the chopping block had there probably not been enough people who already pre-ordered this figure.
Yeah.
And the amount might have been too much for them to just kind of, you know, deal with the backlash of canceling that many figures if they had that many people who wanted. So, yeah, I think on the figure, specifically on the Jonathan Majors head sculpt, I think it very much shows that they gave up on this figure itself. It's very soft, almost to the point where it just feels like it's like still in development. I mean, the best way I can describe it there. It doesn't feel like a complete figure. I don't see any texture. I don't see anything close. I mean, really far
Super
away
shiny.
from the proto that we
really
first
shiny.
saw. It feels rushed, but more along the lines of like, we have to drop it, so let's just get it out, ship it out. I think with Kang being with the Kang other helmet, like you guys said, I think that's a strong one. And I think even with that one, even looking rushed as well too, just because it looks very flat, I think that one is more passable simply because I think it leans more into, it works well because it's comic based. And I think that's where it really comes down to for a lot of like people. Collectors will certainly have their opinions about, you know, controversial topics, controversial people, but I think it's really more shows to more the stance on the material itself, more specifically the character representation. Because to Sneaker's point, this is probably going to be it for a while. It's still debatable if they're going to continue with the character at all. There's been rumors of recasting. There's been rumors of this removing the whole King the Conqueror storyline altogether. So I mean, we really don't know what's going to happen with this here. So I think for the folks who weren't crazy about Ant-Man, this is an easy pass. I think for the folks who want something comic related to the character, I think this is an opportunity to grab one of these here. But I think this is going to be one of these ones where we just kind of talk about it today, and we probably never bring it up again.
I agree. Yeah, and I would think the Ant-Man and the Wasp are probably going to be somewhat shortly behind this one as well. So like those weren't on the Hot Toys image of figures coming out soon, but those could sneak in here and there too. Because I just feel like that movie in general was to be forgotten, and then you have the actors, you know, personal stuff that, you know, he did, and I just feel like that whole movie they kind of just want to maybe push out sooner rather than later and just kind of move on and wash their hands.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did the exact opposite, and like we're talking about like Ant-Man and the Wasp probably being the best head sculpts out there. It's so weird with what they prioritize with this stuff here, because I feel like with Ant-Man specifically, Ant-Man, Hot Toys kind of owes us an apology for Ant-Man 2 with that crazy head sculpt that they gave us, if you remember that there. So I feel like in a way, hopefully they remember to do right by us this time on the third go around for this figure. But yeah, I mean, it's touch and go. You have so many figures that you're making, and some things you can clearly are now seeing more rush and more prioritized than others. And then some random ones get the 5-star treatment and it looks like it's the best figure you've ever seen. So it's so hit or miss these days. It used to be where like 9 out of 10 Hot Toys figures, you can bank on it being fantastic. Now it's just like, it's the luck of the draw. There's just no rhyme to anything they do. And by the way, I did say, I'm going to pat my own self in the back here. I did say, I said this figure would be the next one to drop. I said it would be something wacky, random, nothing that makes sense logically whatsoever. It's going to be something wacky like Kang. I put DLO The Wise. That's all I needed everybody to say. Listen to me.
It's funny.
Acknowledge me.
You know, I got something special for you, sir.
Oh boy, here we go.
If you think this is the ass-kissingest son you ever saw, give me a hell yeah. What?
Still wondering when WWE
Doesn't even make sense
after me on that one.
Doesn't even make sense in the situation. Whatever.
Moving on. You know, these photos are pretty dark too. It's really hard to get a good look at the figure. I guess we could have looked at some YouTube like unboxings and stuff, but I kind of forgot this figure even came out because it was so under the radar. Did Sideshow even do a first look of this?
I don't think so.
Nothing.
No proto pics. No first look.
Secret based photo of the box.
The box. That's it.
That was it. But I just want to say real quick too. Shout out to 16 Lovers on Instagram for the photos, and he has some like really dope photos. Otherwise too, he's always like kind of like tagging me in some cool stuff. He's got like just some really cool content on his page too. Where he takes a lot of photographs. His Anakin ones are really good. I mean, they're all really good. But yeah, go check him out. Too. Shout out to him for the photos because he was one of the ones that like I saw I feel like the Kang photos first. I wasn't seeing them anywhere, and he posted a bunch of photos. So
thank you for the shout out on that. And then we also had Stacy says, have any of you ever bought lightsaber from End Sabers? Just wondering about the quality and ordering experience. Their Luke and Obi-Wan sabers look awesome. So I've done a video on a couple sabers that they sent me for review. They seemed really good quality, really nice. I believe Sneaker also did a video. Yours was End Sabers, right?
No, Saber Mock.
Saber Mock. Okay, I did Saber Mock as well. So I did End Sabers originally. So I do have a video on that. They just sent me, I think it was the Ahsoka blade, but I haven't bought anything from them. I'm not the biggest like saber collector or anything like that, so I've had a Galaxy's Edge, I've had an End Sabers, Saber Mock, but so I guess we're probably not the best answer for that. So yeah, that's all I can say about that, really. Quality seemed good. I think it was a NeoPixel. I'd have to go back. It was a while ago. I still have the saber, but I think it's a NeoPixel. That would be what one of my recommendations would be, though. If you're getting a lightsaber, I would go all out and get the NeoPixel. Just a better experience, better lighting effects. Typically more you can do with those as well. So Collection obsession. I was considering getting Kang until I saw some in-hand reviews. Hair and suit look too shiny, plastic, cheap, toyetic looking. It definitely doesn't seem like one they put a lot of time or thought into. Like they just were committed. Let's just figure this out, get this out. Not that they did a complete half-ass job, but I don't know. Maybe they just didn't care enough. They just want to move past this one. So, don't know. Alrighty. Then we also had this guy drop, which I completely forgot about. It's the Hano Wolverine, correct?
Yep. Yes, sir.
By I think it looks pretty cool. Does anybody remember how much this was or is?
It's like 145 or something.
Yeah, it was
Really
sub
good price.
200. This was like, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it looks really cool. Man, this backdrop is pretty sweet too. I haven't seen all these pictures. Anybody picking this up? I know, we're all kind of like shell-shocked with the Hugh Jackman Wolverine and whatnot, but would anybody get that one for the portrait and then maybe just this one to go next to him, or just for the full suited version? Or would you be more inclined to get two of the Hugh Jackmans?
This is a tough one over here because there is a direction you can take this one over here. Because number one, hell of a value. And the whole point of Hano in the first place was to give collectors more choices,
cool.
right?
This is cool.
So with that being said there, I think there's a place for this here. It's not going to match the movie aesthetic, right? This was not designed for this. Is more for, again, this is more comic-based stuff that we're getting here.
Mm-hmm.
There's phenomenal figures out there from Sideshow himself. Toys Era has some really good ones as well too, like the Gambit, for example. The Rogue, I believe, is from So Toys. I hope I'm getting those right. So there's a place where you can assemble a really good-looking team around this figure over here. So I think for collectors, this is a really nice option. Now, you bring up an interesting point. Two Hugh Jackman Wolverines, that's very much on the table for a lot of us, right? Because it's Hugh Jackman, and it's finally a movie accurate Wolverine. So it's going to be interesting there, but I would say this one is going to be a hard sell, even with a fantastic price. And I looked it up, it's 160, by the way. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a hard sell just because I feel like it's going to be a figure that is hitting at the wrong time. Nothing of his fault. I think it's outstanding. But I think with all the excitement over Deadpool and Wolverine, I just don't know if this has enough to get enough collectors interested in getting it, in my opinion.
That's a good point. I mean, we're all head over heels, like I said, over that Hugh Jackman figure. So that's probably got to affect this at least a little bit.
Do you think they were trying to really release it now, though? Like the hype with X-Men 97, the before Deadpool Wolverine come out, knowing that the other Wolverine's going to be taking a while. They just wanted to like put it out, hey, this one's 160. Let's try to get all of our buyers now before the Hugh Jackman one comes out or something like that, while this hype is built around it.
I think it's at least possible. I mean, that's not coming out for another year and a half plus. Yeah. So, I mean, there's time. And I'm no businessman, but if it was me, I think I would have done it like right around the date that the movie comes out, though. Like, just try to drop it then when it's really hot, and then people can get it now, type of thing. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to affect it a little bit with, the live action Hugh Jackman coming, reprising the role. But at the same time, this is so cheap, I could see people just not batting an eye and picking it up. So tough to say.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Oh, it's wonderful. They did a hell of a job.
Does this look too animated to fit, like, unless you have animated X-Men? But like, do you worry about how it fits with your collection at all? Just the way that it is here. Sneaker, would this fit next to like Emperor and Vader, or not?
I mean, I personally wouldn't go that route, but I think for me, I look at this line as, if I'm going to get this, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole of the other animated figures that they're doing, like Magneto. Like, I'm really considering getting this, especially after, like, I'm not all the way through with it, but watching X-Men 97, like,
masterpiece.
Yeah, X-Men 97 is like just kind of getting back involved in that. And like, I went back and watched like a really long a couple really long like videos of like what has happened in X-Men 97 so far, and just like getting back into the show. And like I could see myself like wanting to get into this for like just strictly like the animated perspective of this, you know, and that's kind of what it's designed for as well. This is so cool how you can put a comic book behind it.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
think that's
Nice
such a
touch.
genius. It's such a genius idea, and like I know, like shout out to Thrawn's office. He loves putting comic book stuff with like comic books with his figures. So that's kind of the way that I look at this, is like really kind of capturing that animated look more so. So I think there's more of a place for me going that route. Another thing I just want to say about this is like how you do box art right here.
This
Like
is
awesome.
this is so dope. Hot Toys should take notes on their boxes. Which I guess like I know Hot Toys is kind of making, I guess the other side of that is they're kind of making it seem like they want it to look realistic on the front, which I get that, but like this is just like seems a lot more creative. I love how he looks like. Grim, you showed that picture of like the box, like how he was like in the box when it was like
coming out of it.
and like the inside of the box too, like the flap has like that comic, like a comic strip on the inside of it. I just think that is so cool. Like when it comes to, and I don't care like too much about boxes, but everything about this for the value is just like, it seems like what they're able to do for this from a value perspective, seamless arms and all that stuff is just like, it's just really cool. They're able to do that as well, just overall. So just that alone too has me kind of intrigued to, you know, like pick up this line and just like see for that price, like just to see what this figure is like my own thought on it and getting this in hand and seeing what this is like.
Yeah, I mean it's very innovative. Like I like some of the ideas they've done. And the art box, you know, might not mean a lot, but at the same time, it's part of the experience when you're first getting that figure and you're so excited to open it. So like it does mean something, even though you're just putting it back into the closet or whatever, you know. But it's still just, yeah, it goes with that experience of unboxing and whatnot. So like, yeah, this is really cool. I love how they kind of made it like
so
he's
awesome.
alive and kind of come out himself. So.
It's cool.
This kind of reminds me of but Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. Hot Toys actually did an art box like that, which is kind of odd. They did the slip cover, but then they did this where the two fold in and they kind of lock in like the flaps under each other. So that's kind of interesting. Like I wouldn't mind if they'd go back to more of that, but at the same time it did rip easy. But I like what you're saying here too. Yeah, you know, even have like comic book stuff on the inside, so it's just a
It's also like this is kind of a really small thing, but it's nice being able to open up a box and not have to like pull something out and set it down, pull something out and set it down. Like when I'm unboxing stuff on a table, like, you know, when I'm unboxing something on the table that I have in my basement, I always have to put it somewhere else, because you pull out the box, you pull out the flap, right, the flap with the photos on it, then you pull out the plastic shell, like shit just piles up when you're unboxing. This is like, you open up these flaps and you can take the figure out and you don't have to move anything. You don't have to like, it's just a nice kind of like quality of life thing, if you will, when it comes to unboxing a figure that I think just like really shouldn't be overlooked talking about it.
The OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars says the old Sideshow comic series had the comic strips on the box. It's pretty cool. And we have Adrian in the house. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. Collection Obsession says, I think the timing for the release of this Wolverine is on point, because Sideshow should be getting them in stock for immediate shipping in time for the Deadpool Wolverine movie. So ride the hype.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That does make sense. Yeah, because then Sideshow would have it just in time for the movie. So cool. Brick, you got any final thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm looking at these these figures, and they kind of remind me of the Mondo figures, where Mondo's a little bit way more animated. I feel way more cartoonish, but they still look amazing. I think you see a little bit more of the joints on the knees too with the Mondo figures, but comes with the head sculpt without the cowl on Mondo version. And I guess for me, if I'm gonna go down a line like this for like the X-Men 97 or, you know, the old school series, I might go Mondo over Hano. Or Hano, sorry if I'm butchering that, but I mean, the only thing with Mondo is I don't feel like they have the double jointed elbows, and I don't know if this figure does, but I don't know. I'm growing to really love those Mondo figures and what they're doing over there. The only problem is those Mondo figures are more expensive I think the Wolverine there was $200. I think Cyclops was like 220, 240 for the special edition. So they're pricey, but they look so good. And if I'm going to go that animated look, I want to go hard with it, the hard animated look. So that's pretty much my thoughts. Looks really good though. I think this turned out amazing.
If
So
I
I'm
got
looking
this figure,
forward
I'd
to
go
see.
with this pose right here, and I love
This is
that
badass.
comic book behind it. Just bad nice.
You could be looking at this wrong too. We can just be honestly, this can just be a one-off. This would be a nice display piece. So you put a comic in there, put a Wolverine nice pose. He doesn't necessarily need to be with the extra with the rest of the X-Men over here. So I mean, for somebody who's just a dire Wolverine fan, I mean, I would consider it.
Yeah. Another cool
Same.
thing too is if they ever do a Spider-Man, and you have a Spider-Man versus Wolverine kind of shelf with these two, that'd be really cool. It's always fun when they go at it.
Great photos too. Sharp. Good lighting.
Are you guys getting Magneto?
No.
No, he
Either?
looks cool.
What, from Hono? No.
Yeah.
He looks great though.
He does.
What makes you like not want to go down this kind of get these? What's like your hesitation?
Couple things. Starts. It rhymes with Ahsoka. It rhymes with Batman. I mean, just any
Just,
rhyme.
other,
you can
pri-
think
just
of.
other priorities?
Yeah, man. I mean, I love what you hear. I mean, I always say this all the time. I strictly collect movie TV. I don't even collect video games. I'm a big video game guy like yourself, but I don't collect video games. Like I don't have a lot of limitations, but I feel like I have to put some, right? Because I mean, if I didn't, I'd be bankrupt with all the stuff that comes out there, right? But at the end of the day, keeping myself accountable to like my rules, and I don't have many, but the ones I do have, I stick to them, is the best way I can keep myself in the game, focusing on, getting the figures that are priorities that are going to already elevate the collection I already have, right? Because sometimes I dabbled before, and I know myself. I know if I dabble too much and it clashes with my existing display, then I'm broken up about it. I was like, oh, this looks terrible. It's just like you're down on collecting. I've been down that road before. I know what it's like when you make a detour towards like FOMO world and all that stuff, and it's just like, man, no, you gotta look at yourself as like an artist yourself. You're painting your own personal mirror of what your collection is going to look like, and you gotta, anytime you think of any figure, you gotta take a step back and just look at everything else you got here. So like, is this going to fit? Is this going to make sense? Because if it doesn't, it's going to feel good. You're going to get that dopamine hit for a second, but then the second that wears off, you're in BST groups trying to sell this thing off, and so it's like, it's tough because there's so much great stuff. There's always something around the corner that's either going to be announced or dropped that's always going to get your interest there. But at the end of the day, if you plan on doing this for a while, for a long time, you got to get more disciplined as years go on. I mean, I started off with hundreds of figures in the beginning years. Now 20, 30 figures, maybe a year I get. And then that's with me cycling out figures that I now know that they don't fit the collection. So for me, I don't want to take detours that I know that I'm going to regret later just to get that dopamine hit that I want, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like I'm you, or I was you as well. Like we've taken similar paths. Because same thing, like I would just buy things because I thought they were cool, and I didn't really think about how they would fit. And I think this is a really cool piece, but I think at the same time, I need to be disciplined too and think about the things that are coming out so that I'm not part of the big sad. But then also too, I don't want to sell this 2 months after I buy it because like the movie wears off, and then because I'm more of just a casual fan. I'm not even that big of an X-Men fan, but I do like Wolverine. So like. But that's not enough to get me to buy this, even for the great price that it is. I just don't think that's enough. I got to stay disciplined, and with everything else that's coming out. But I think you nailed it too when you said, how does it fit my collection, like, or how does it go like to what I'm building? Like you already have a plan, and then this kind of just gets pushed in. But because it's not necessarily part of your plan, but you decided it was really cool and you bought it, you're more likely to probably sell it a couple months down the road because it wasn't, part of building your Ahsoka line or your Star Wars line or your DC stuff and whatnot. So
Yeah,
it's just kind of an oddball, and that's not to say nobody can get this. I mean, it's
no,
just,
gosh, no. Like,
if it
I'm
fits
just
in your
one
plan,
person.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's just one of those things. Like, you start learning yourself as I didn't know what kind of collector I was going to be when I started this. I was going to get, the Justice League line and call it a day. But then, plans change. You really love hot toys. You really love collecting. You love hunting. You look, do community stuff and watching streams. So I mean, this whole thing kind of takes on a life of its own, and somehow you gotta rein it in and concentrate on what you're gonna do with your version of hot toys collecting or whatever 1/6 collecting you're doing there. Because at the end of the day, it's hard to be a collector because there's always temptation everywhere. Sometimes you've got to just look inward to say to yourself, like, okay, yes, I like it. Do I need it? No. And that's where I kind of came back with that phrase a long time ago when I said, like it, love it, gotta have
all
it.
the shit's cool.
It all is. I mean, who doesn't think Wolverine is cool? Even if you don't like Marvel, you probably have seen Wolverine and know what Wolverine is, right? So yeah, that's something familiar. I like that. That's cool. But do I need it? That's always the question you always got to ask yourself. So I've created that kind of mindset with like it, love it, gotta have it, just to keep myself in check, because my first reaction as a collector is like, this is amazing. How much is it? When can I get it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can see myself doing X, Y, and Z, and I can get this one. And then you got this whole rabbit hole that just because you got excited by a few photos, now you're planning the next 5 or 6 other figures you want with this figure that you like now. So it's one of those things where like you just gotta keep yourself accountable, keep in focus the stuff that you want to be in your display, and try your best to fight the temptation, because it's tough, man. It is tough.
Plus, there's so much coming out from Hot Toys these days. Like, we see the Batman is now the next hot item on the BST groups. Like, you don't want to be like that. Like, you don't want to have to feel like you have to sell or change your mind because you really didn't think it over, and then 2 months later, you're selling figures. So, like, this could be a really cool figure, and he looks amazing. But just make sure it's something that you really want and something that you really love, because think about, like, it's hard when we see this stuff and it's here now and it's like we can get this, but then we're not thinking about the invoices that are hitting in the month or two down the road and whatnot, and then we feel like we're in a corner and we have to make a move. So that's kind of what I would say to it. I also want to know, like, I'm going to get to Steve and Brick's thoughts on what we're talking about. Really quickly in the chat, though, let us know if you have any weird rules that you collect by, like that you have about buying or whatnot. Like, DLO's rule was no animated or like video games. Like, what is one weird rule that you have? Sneaker, what are you thinking about this conversation we're having?
Yeah, I think the reason why I asked the question in the first place was that, DLO, I remember we were talking about X-Men 97. You were like, this is like the best show on television this year.
It is.
And how hyped you were talking about it. And for me, in my mind, when I get really hyped about something like to that level and I'm like, this is the best, and then this stuff starts coming out, this is the type of stuff for me, like, I want that in my collection. Like, I feel like I feel like for me, I feel like for me it gets to like the gotta have it. But for you, I mean, it made sense what you said. You draw that line of like, I don't go, this is what I collect, this is what I do, I can't get everything, which I get that aspect of it too. So I was just curious your thought process on that. And yeah,
I agree with you, because I thought he might get this.
Yeah, I thought
you were cheaper and it looks good, and he's a huge fan of the show. So
I thought you were like going to be no hesitation once Hano released or like started announcing these like X-Men when it started going. Yeah, X-Men 97. I thought you were going all in on this.
I'll be honest with you. I was kind of like Brick. I was kind of looking at Mondo. I was really, because I mean, if I'm gonna go with a non-actor, I want it to be damn accurate to the show. And Mondo has a hell of a product, like a truly, in my opinion, maybe a little expensive for what it is, but it is a phenomenal product. And to have that kind of specific representation, because you're right. I mean, I've been on the stream for weeks telling everybody, guys, you got to watch X-Men 97. You got to watch it. And for me, it's the best show I've seen Disney put out, period, in a while. So, I mean, yeah, I was on the fence with that here for a while. I mean, I was feeling pretty weak, but you know what happened? You know what happened, guys?
What happened?
Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Let's fucking go with a mask.
Let's go.
And I'm back. Now I'm back. Shook it off. I was like, you almost got me that time. Get away, demons. But no, Hugh Jackman Wolverine with the proper comic aesthetic to it there with the mask. Finally, after 20 plus years, dude, that was enough to shake me out of it, because now I got that fix I'm looking for, because I'm wanting that classic X-Men look. And now we got a Hugh Jackman Wolverine that looks exactly like this one, for the most part, looks like this here. So that's a hell of a fucking, excuse my French, sorry, but that's a hell of a come up from what from no disrespect to this product to having that. I mean, you hit all kinds of numbers with that. Hugh Jackman, freaking hero of mine, watching those movies as a kid. Now I got the comic suit from 97, the proper Wolverine, right? So it's hitting these numbers here. Like, I don't have to compromise while getting that figure. Sure, I'm going to pay a little bit more, but I'm going to get exactly what I always wanted to get. So if that didn't happen, I might have gone down this road. Maybe not Hano directly, maybe Mondo, but something to that line. And I might have broke the rule, but now I don't have to. So I just got lucky.
Brick, you got any other thoughts?
No, it looks really
Brick,
good.
do you have any weird rules that you go by collecting?
Hey, why are they going to be weird?
I guess the one rule I try to stick by is no
freaky rules?
rentals. Like no,
Say that again?
I don't want to no rentals. Like I don't want to buy a figure that I feel like I might sell. Like if I, like for example, Scarlet Witch or something like that. I know I'm gonna have 3 of them, but I want to keep all 3 of them. I wouldn't have bought these figures if I thought I was gonna sell, my Wanda from WandaVision figure when Scarlet Witch, the artisan version, comes out. Like I want to be able to keep my figures for the most part. That's my one rule I try to stick with for now, right? Until I get 60 more and then space. But for now, I try to keep that rule. I guess another rule is just it kind of goes with that. Just make sure like buy something you really, really like connects, that you connect with. Don't just try not to buy what everyone else is buying, because like sometimes you guys will be talking about a figure in our personal chat, and I'm just like, I try to stay out of it because I'm like, I don't need that figure. They love it, it's cool, but I try really hard not to do that. And I failed one time, and that was with the Batman, and I bought the Batman. But good figure. I needed a Batman, but yeah, I try to stick to that. I need that connection.
How about you, Sneaker? Gotta be Star Wars.
Gotta be Star Wars. I feel like
Under 2,500 made.
it's gotta be limited, or I'm not buying it.
There you go. There you go.
And Chrome.
I think the one rule that I tried really hard not to break is like kind of to Delo's point of like, I don't want to buy it just because it looks like, just because it's cool, like because it looks cool. The one figure that I kind of broke, that actually I kind of broke a double rule with this figure. The other thing is I don't like buying stuff from properties that I haven't seen. Like Black Adam was the first time like I bought a figure that I got without seeing the full movie. So that was kind of like, figure looks cool and I haven't seen the movie, but I bought Black Adam. But then again, like I'm happy I have that figure because like he's kind of a special circumstance because like representation of The Rock, and I grew up like a huge wrestling fan, so that's kind of like an exception to that. But I really try not to buy stuff just because like it looks cool. I want to have some type of attachment because like DLO said, like once you go down that like, oh, this looks really cool, and then you're right, it's a dopamine hit. You get something in your collection, you get it in hand, and you're like, oh, this is so cool. And then you're like, okay, like this is cool, but it doesn't fit into like my overall vision for what I want in my display. And then you just end up like trying to sell it, or I haven't really had that happen really too much. I try to, like Brick said too, just really get stuff that I feel like I'm really going to keep. One other thing though, at the same time, is like I like to figure out things for myself. Like Cobb Vanth is an example of a lot of people dislike that figure, and that's so, like I'm getting this, and D-Lo did it too. He made the right decision.
A whole video how much I liked it, didn't like it.
But I also like to, if push comes to shove and I have to sell a figure, I would much rather get it in hand and see for myself what it is if I have any interest in getting it, rather than depending on the other stuff online about it. If I'm, like if I'm on the fence of like, maybe I won't buy it, but it's something that like, I won't buy it because of X, Y, and Z. I'd rather find out for myself in a lot of cases too. And if I don't like it, I'll just sell it. And luckily, I haven't really had that issue either. So those are kind of my quirky things for collecting. But it's hard, man. It's hard. It's a fine line. Like, it's a really fine line.
I've broken many of my rules.
Yeah, and it happens, and it happens. And
True, you have.
It happens.
So
it
like,
happens. To
one
all
of
us.
mine was, well, don't collect
Bad
the
Batch.
prequels.
Bad Batch.
And
Yeah.
then, now I have now I have Maul and
I love
Qui-Gon.
this.
But I'm still staying like very limited on prequels because it's just not something I really love. Bad Batch is different because that was a series in itself that I really enjoyed. But then
anime
so
prequels.
my rule was no prequels. I've broken that a little bit. There's a couple figures that I have to have, but I'm not gonna go like Padme and Mace and all of that stuff. So
Are you gonna go Padawan, Obi, if that gets announced?
no, I don't think I would.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
And then my other rule was like
Right.
one variant per character, unless it was like a Batman, Joker, or Vader. Okay, well I have 3 Lukes now. I'll
That
say
feels
that
right though.
I've stayed pretty okay with that, but like I've loosened up a little bit on that, even though I should really be tightening up on that because with space and everything. So like, but that was one of my, I guess, weird rules was like one variant, and then
That's a great rule. That's a great rule. It depends on like your focus. Like if it's something that it's not a
because I
complete
was
focus.
into Star Wars, Batman, and Marvel, so
Yeah.
it's like you just gotta get one, pick the one, and then that be that.
Well, for me, I was having an issue with Marvel because for Marvel, I like
tough.
Marvel. I've never had like anything negative to say about Marvel ever. I enjoyed everything Marvel had to do up until like more recently. But I had like 3 Captain Americas. I had like 3 Thors and Spider-Man. Forget about Spider-Man was like too many. But I mean, I got to the point where I was just like standing by like, whoa, I have way too much of this particular IP, and it's not even my number one focus. So I started like, doing the hard stuff, like getting rid of some of these additional figures. And you know what? I have it down to where it's just one character, one design of that character. And if there's a new version of that character now, I will sell the old one and replace it with the new one. And I got to tell you, I'm so much happier collecting that. And I don't feel like it's a burden to collect the IP anymore because now I feel like I have it tuned into where like it looks good. It really looks good. And I'm happy with how it displays. And more importantly, like breaking up lines is the best decision ever made. Like line collecting is the worst thing you can do in Hot Toys, in my opinion, or anything for that matter, because then you're obligated to keep stuff that you really didn't want in the first place just because it completes something. Once I broke that rule, man, I was so much happier because then it was mixing and matching. Now it was cool. Now this figure can interact with this one. It looks better in the display. And yeah, I didn't have 1,000,001 character because I had to finish lines. It opened up my eyes on collecting so much more after I stopped that rule.
No, I agree. I've never been into finishing a line either, just for that reason. Like I want to have the best of the best, in my head. Like I want it to be something that I really love, and if I was trying to complete a line, there's just so much other stuff that I'm going to be missing out. Another thing that I tried to do too is like stay away from animated stuff. Like it's got to be live action. Broke the rule with the spider people here, but at the same time they have their masks on, so you can't really tell. But also now that I have like the showcase, it's not as big of a deal to me because it's just random figures kind of popped in. So that one I kind of broke the rule for as well. And then Bad Batch they're actually live action figures, so it doesn't really count. So I was all in for that too.
Prequel animation.
Prequel animation. So 2 negatives make a
We
positive.
call that a double whammy in the biz.
No, but like obviously you're never gonna be like perfect with some of that stuff. But like if you can at least have like guidelines, that'll help you just stay on the straight and narrow and whatnot, and from tapping out or whatnot, and going and having these figures for 2 months and then turn around and selling them because the next thing is out. So have a plan and just have some rules that you go by, and hopefully that makes it a little bit easier for you. OG fan says 3 Lukes, isn't that the minimum?
For real.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You need one from each.
And if a Return of the Jedi 2.0 comes out, that'll be next. So that'll be
Oh yeah.
be a little scary.
Please.
Nick's Collectible says, my newest rule is if it ain't Toby, it ain't for me.
Good for you, man. Good luck with that.
But yeah, rules are made to be broken. These are more like guidelines. So
I feel like that's a really good when I got outside of Star Wars, because early on I was like, I'm only going to collect Star Wars. When I got out of that, the one character for Marvel was something that like really helps me like stay, you know, like hold myself accountable for Marvel, unless it's like special, like a couple characters I break that rule for. But for the most part, like I said, I'm kind of like one Thor. I try to do, just one main character that I want, like Endgame, Infinity War, because I'd want them all. Like everybody loves those movies, right? Like those are like Infinity War, Endgame. Like I'm sure everybody who loves those movies would want every figure from that, right?
Sure.
But I just really am trying to like, I just want my favorite characters. I don't need all the people either. I don't need like every single one of them. I just want my favorite characters in the one representation, because my focus is Star Wars. So then I can go and I can get more Star Wars stuff that way by limiting myself on Marvel, which is just like for my collection, not like the main focus.
Right.
And when it comes to direction, like when I was in my rookie stage of collecting, like my direction wasn't solidified. Like I started collecting what I love, but then I'm like, well, maybe I don't know how this fits, because I just had cases all together, right? So they kind of had to go together somewhat. And like I had the 3 main IPs, and then my miscellaneous is like, man, maybe I just need to focus on the 3 main IPs so this looks more unified and better. So like I sold my Terminator figures, my Crow, RoboCop. That might be it. But like I sold a handful of those figures that I really loved, and like that was then a rule I made, but then I broke that, and I've not looked back on that one because it's stupid. Like if that figure means so much to me, that's one that I should have in the collection. So got those back and kind of ditched that rule of focusing on the 3 IPs because of how the collection would look, and just making sure I got what means the most to me. So that's just another rule that I had that I kind of brushed off to the side. We got Casablanco in here as well. Thank you for being here. Sounds like he's having some flooding, I think. So hopefully you get that figured out. That can definitely not be fun. Yeah, so hopefully you're doing okay wherever you are, and get that figured out. Any other final thoughts here on collecting and rules that you have of collecting, or what to keep you on the straight and narrow as we finish out the night?
Dude, I hope Acolyte figures come out, because nobody's gonna want them, and then I'm buying them all, and then dude, instant grails.
DLO, did you watch the last episode?
Super limited run
Of Acolyte? Yeah. I watch it.
1 or 2 words. What were your thoughts? Good, bad, terrible?
That's not enough. But I will try to summarize it in a non-spoiler way.
The best word to explain it.
Not terrible.
That's 2 words.
Well, a couple words is fine.
I know, I'm teasing. Look, I will say
I thought he said 2 words. Okay. I thought he said in 2 words.
No. I will say that it was not the worst episode they had. But still, it's still okay. But still okay. It's listen, promises were made. I don't believe they fulfilled those. That's fine. I will say yeah, you're right. You're probably right about that. It was fine. It was fine. It was
hey, I will say these action scenes are way better than some of the lightsaber duels from Ahsoka. Remember the complaints with that, where it was just like this the whole time? It was like these lightsaber duels that we saw.
In fairness, you're right. It was. But in fairness, when you have a bigger budget than every other Star Wars show,
for sure.
You can hire some really good coordinators there. So $180 million. Man, we were shower with this here. Oh man, it's an event. I'm here for the ride at this point.
Gotta see it through, man.
I got to. I said to myself, like, if this episode sucks ass like every other one that's been since, I'm probably gonna end it right here. Just be done. It's like, just tell me what happened at the end. But this one was pretty decent. It was decent by Acolyte standards. So I mean, yeah, it bought itself another week. We'll see what happens.
Do you guys think this is going to be a turning point for Disney Star Wars one way or another? Like they'll take notes.
I don't know, man.
I hope it wakes them up and says,
Right.
You know,
I just don't see it. I feel like there's been so many good reasons to fire Kathleen Kennedy for years, and they still haven't done it. And I just feel like she's untouchable, or something. She's got dirt on the CEO of Disney, or something. It just feels illogical that someone could get that much of a free leash to kind of just do what they do and not be successful, and yet still have that job. In the real world, that person would have been fired and replaced a long time ago. But yet here we are still with that. So,
Star Wars
then again, money
theory's got
talks.
some
Money
pull, man.
talks.
Yeah, I remember Game of Thrones episodes were 10 million per episode for a while. And you're telling me this is 180 for the whole series? Like, and what can, it's just, man.
It's interesting, man. I mean, inflation too, right? They're going to say some stuff like that, whatever. Inflation, but.
Then you look at Godzilla -1, 15 million.
You own all the studios you use, but inflation, I get it. Inflated on yourself. But,
Clinton thinks she might have that Hawk Tua thing going on. Spit on that thing.
Or someone giving somebody Hawk Tua. She's got dirt on somebody. I'll tell you. She's got dirt on some folks for sure.
Guys.
But I don't know. We'll see. I hope so. I doubt it. I think Star Wars is in a very bad place right now, in my humble opinion. And until
I won't even watch.
Will get put in place.
That's where I'm at.
Kind of feels like everything.
I won't even watch.
Well, it's frustrating though, because I feel like for Steve, for example, I mean, he's been a very big advocate for. Nice, Coop. Nice. I think Steve's been a big, big fan of Andor, and it took me a while to get on board. And part of it was because I didn't know if it was going to be worth my time. We just came off the heels of Book of Boba and all that trash that happened with that there, right? So it was like, yeah, I mean,
it's very up and down.
For me, I need a movie. I need a freaking movie to come out. I need a new trilogy. I need a damn good story. I need to be invested in some new characters. Go away from the Skywalker, family for once and just really build something new. Give me something that I haven't seen before in a good way that respects the lineage of Star Wars and not just keep shitting on it. You're welcome, Throg. Enjoy that one. But yeah, it's just it's just I don't know, man. Star Wars traditionally is movie based, and it's cool to have shows every once in a while. But I think at the same time, you need to get back to the movies. You need to get another trilogy going. You need new heroes, new villains to root against. You need to get Star Wars back to basics. I think all this extra stuff you're trying to do is what's the point, man? Star Wars has been around for 40 years, man. Why are you gonna break up a winning formula? I just don't understand it. But
you guys know what Clinton's talking about here?
What do we have here?
Did you guys see the "There Are More of Us" PSA put out by YouTubers for Disney Star Wars? So cringe.
Maybe they're saying
there's a lot of cease and desist and
that are like there are more of us to defend what's going on versus not. I'm not sure.
Maybe it has something to do more like Star Wars theory, kind of like that thought process of where Disney Star Wars is at, and then them trying to kind of just brush it underneath the rug. I don't know. I'm assuming it's not good.
I've been entertained by theory lately, so I've been watching.
Same. He's been very.
It's been fun, but dude, I mean,
watch parties are funny.
If we're being honest, the guy lives Star Wars I think he just wants the best Star Wars, so I guess I just trust his judgment a little bit on that. But I know he can be a little bit biased towards some things too. So yeah. His skits are pretty good.
They're very good.
Show. Cool. Alrighty, well, I think we're gonna call it a night. We got everything talked about here. Some good conversations at the end as well. Talked about collecting rules, as well as the Trasholite, and Star Wars in general. So, fun stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed watching us as much as we enjoyed hanging out with you. Sneaker, I'm gonna start with you. If you want to plug your channel. And go.
What do I got going on? I don't really have, honestly, too much right now. I've got a lot of busy stuff happening. But if you guys are interested in Star Wars, The Acolyte, if you actually want to come talk about the show, on Friday night.
man.
On Friday night, I do a show called After Acolyte where we actually it's actually really good. Like if you genuinely are watching the show and you want to actually have like good conversation about all things surrounding the show, good or bad, and want a place to actually talk about some things and get into like some really like fun conversations just about Star Wars lore in general. It's a really fun show. It's gonna be me, Thrawn's Office, I believe Justin, aka How You Figure, is gonna be on, and then Hot Toys Hotline is joining us Friday as well. And I know he's a huge Star Wars fan, so it's a fun show. It's After Acolyte, 8 p.m. Central on Friday. And it's fun breaking down the episodes and talking just about different points and how it kind of fits into the overall Star Wars universe. It's a yeah. Watch me talk about it. Because I think there's a lot of stuff surrounding the show too that, we're going moment by moment, and it's just like the episode by episode, like D'Lo said, I want a movie. If this was a movie, it would be a better reception when you get it all as one big thing. Like episode 4, they stopped it right at the biggest moment in the show. They stopped it right at cut the episode short. It was under 30 minutes and they stopped it. And then they showed this next episode, like do that chunk for an hour. And it's much better experience, right? So there's people that are pissed about that. Everybody, like people are getting pissed about the episodes like before they even come out, is essentially like what's happening right now. So come hang out on the show on Friday. It's a lot of fun. And then I do a Sunday show as well, sneak peek at 8 p.m. Central with How You Figure. And I don't know if it's for sure happening this Sunday because I got stuff going on. But yeah, I'm kind of just, it's going to be a busy summer, a lot of stuff going on. I haven't really posted too much long form content either, just because I've been doing a lot of live streaming. It's like 3 live streams a week. So
getting those
right
shorts
now get those shorts in, everybody. get those shorts in, everybody.
Congrats to D'Lo.
But yeah, I've been doing congrats to D'Lo.
What a congratulations for what?
I don't know.
I'm looking here.
Whatever Graham say.
Something happened?
But yeah, that's it. I'm doing a lot of live streams right now, not a lot of long form content. That's it.
All right. Good. Brick, how about you, my friend?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be on vacation next week, and so won't be on the Wolfpack next week, but I will also actually not have Beagle 6 on Monday next week. So what I'm gonna be doing is, instead of doing the first and third Monday, I will be doing the basically 2 Mondays in a row when I get back from vacation. So the 8th and the 15th. So the second and third Monday. And I'm going to be having Jose and Zord on the 8th. And then on the 15th, I'm going to be having Thrawn's Office and X-Man Supreme, which will be fun because we always see him in the comments. So finally getting him out and about and seeing, give him a little
better
space there. Yeah, if he's
gonna
feeling better.
recover.
He's got until the 15th. So, we'll see. And then on the 29th, the Monday after Wolverine or Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm having a 10-man panel on the Bugle 6 Monday night on the 29th and having a huge giveaway from Collector's Zone. One of them being the Wolverine Collector's Edition hot toy. I know it's a pre-order, but you will get that figure and an Iron Studios 1/10 scale Wolverine and Deadpool. So pretty cool stuff there. A lot coming this month. And I just posted a video today, a few hours ago now. So go check that out.
All right. DLO the Collector.
Seniors. Yes, seniors. Yes.
Really becoming an influencer before our very eyes.
Can't stand myself sometimes. Yeah, you guys can still find me on DLO The Collector on Instagram. As you guys see, I have a new logo, so I'm in the process of getting new videos ready to go, intro, stuff like this. Full remodel. This is going to be the channel 2.0. Just totally renovating everything here, just kind of sprucing it up, making it look more professional. But as far as content's concerned, I am working on very long video, so please indulge me here. I'm going to be grading every Hot Toys announcement for the last 6 months. So every figure that has been announced, not released, announced, I'm going to be grading. And hopefully what I want to do is I want to make that a monthly video for me, something that I'm always going to do. So every single month I'll do another one where we do whatever announcements for that particular month. So that way I'm going to do one big one to catch up on the year so far. and then I'm going to do that every single month thereafter. So that way, that's like a nice thing to always look forward to. As far as other content's concerned, trying out short form, that seems to be going well. So yay for that. As far as other stuff, as you guys already know, I'm going to be going over to see the boys very soon. So I'm going to be filming a lot of content just to have something ready to go. So that way I can worry about packing, getting ready for the trip and all that good jazz and all that fun stuff. And and just continue to collect. I finished my Boba Fett while we streamed. So there you go. Bam. He's a nice. I like him very much. But
D'Lo's practicing his ABCs.
Oh, and
Always
also,
be collecting.
one other thing as well too. So I now have a Facebook page as well too. So you guys can find me on Facebook now. So DLO The Collector, it goes by my full name, Daniel Lopez. I made a specific collector profile now because I know I don't use Facebook generally, but I know a lot of people do, and I know a lot of folks that hit me up said like, dude, I like your stuff, but you know, I use Facebook. I don't have Instagram. So I'm like, okay, so now you can find me on Instagram and at Facebook at DLO The Collector there. So look me up. I'll send you a friend request if I can find you. I've been trying to friend request a couple people I already know, but if you guys find me first, don't hesitate. I'll accept your friend request, and yeah, you can follow me on there too now.
Awesome. Yeah, when we wake up tomorrow, you may be at 1,000 subs, so congrats early on that. Be the first one to tell you that. As for me, last week I came out with the Terminator 2 T1000 unboxing, so if you guys haven't seen that, go check that out. It's a brand new figure, so it's quite the experience to do. Also been putting out some shorts that has been our Wolfpack thing going on lately, that we're getting more into that. It's going to be more of our focus as well. We want to give content to live streamers, to long form, and also to short form content. So we're all kind of getting together on that. And then tomorrow or the next day, I don't know, I might drop it tomorrow, but I feel bad because I always drop videos on Friday. So I feel like if I drop one tomorrow, I still have to come out with one on Friday. But it's going to be the Jackson cowl for the Batman Begins figure. I did a review comparing it to the Hot Toys and just the difference that you're going to be able to see there. And then I do want to finish my top 5 series. I have to do my miscellaneous figures, so I want to get that done and do that as well. So that'll either be this week or next week. And then yeah, like these guys said, in 2 weeks we're going to be in Michigan together. We're going to be hanging out, so we're going to be filming. We're going to be letting you see, you know, inside the curtain on what we're doing a little bit, and maybe some of the fun we're having. So don't miss that. I might just go randomly live on my phone just to kind of check in with you guys so you can kind of see what we're up to. So I'm excited. It's coming up quick, and yeah, looking forward to hanging out with you boys in person. So great show. Thank you guys in the chat for just being active and carrying us through this show. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the week, and until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Too sweet, everybody. Adios.